Hey, JJ. Okay, hey, listen, there's been a lot of drama this week. This episode of Ahsoka, a lot of people have been trying to figure out what's going on with it. I I was told to grab a clipboard last week, so I did. I grabbed the clipboard. I took some notes. I have it right here, as a matter of fact, right here. Got some notes written down from a bunch of different people. We will be covering that Ahsoka stuff. I know that's what you all came for. But we also have, last week was such a big hit with Jedi Johnson. I mean, I know he's a gangster, covering the comics that we're doing it again this week. We got news from the priest gangster Wayseeker and Dom, the OG gangster down there in the bottom, because all of Russian Vision's full of gangsters. Coming straight to you. Let's say hi to the chat, everybody. Here we go. GTK Comics got his spot at the top again. Jesus, you guys are getting here way too early. Hi, thumbs up. A lot of drama and negativity in the last few. I don't think that everybody's so negative on this episode, man. I'll be honest with you. I think there's just different groups of fans, man. But here's hoping we can enjoy some Star Wars quality Star Wars content as always from the Dark Side crew. Of course, we'll give it to you. Cheers, cheers. Rock on. Vader Prime. Have a great show, gents. Catch you on the rewind. Cheers, cheers, peace. Saying hi for the algorithm. Hi. I'm here for it. Okay, Dave. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hello, all. Hi, everyone. Apple's Mr. Appleman. Jeffrey Drake, sorry about that. All right, Mr. Appleman. Hi, everyone. Apple. Is that Apple Bottom? Thumbs up? I might have some. Look. I took some screenshots. Wayseeker laughed at them and told me they're completely horrible.
No, you might have to get your 3D glasses.
Yeah,
they are.
They
are. But there's definitely a lot of Apple Bottoms in it. So there you go. It's just for you. Happy Star Wars Sunday, Wookiee Fanatic 19. John Sanders, what's up, everybody? Jedi, he's still got a picture of you. I hope that you're getting residuals off of this. Residuals it is.
Just
no worries, Tommy. What do you got? No drama on my end. Okay. TNT cool guy. Whales. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of sperm whales going on in this one. We're going to do that. Hope the boys have a great show. Thank you, Pete. Marco, the most hated man comics t-shirts available for $19.99. Yeah, still that. I'm still the most hated, bro. But like
part of the Nerdster connection.
It's just funny how many people have been around with me for so long for how hated I am. Hey, by the way, make sure you guys check out SNS last night. Speaking about people who hate me, Tony Fleece was on there. BK was trying to get him to hate me and boycott me, trying to get him to do whatever he could. Tony had some great stories. Make sure you check it out. He's got some great books coming out. And he's also a Rob Liefeld fan. And tell me in the comments under that video if you believe that or you think he's full of shit, because I think he's full of shit. So make sure you check out that SNS episode from last night. It was really good. Probably stayed up too late. Sanders' episode was either the best thing you've ever seen or just man. Dude, there's a. I think
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. No, I think that is the drama of this episode. Like, I think that's how a lot of fans feel at this point. Good gravy. Marco is hated by many on YouTube. Well, good thing in real life, I'm really liked. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's night is going well. It is. Thank you, Sarth. What's up, guys? What's up, Dart? Ruben, I was going to comment back to your comment, but I'm not going to comment it till later, so maybe you can replay with your comment because I'm not going to comment to it till we do the Ahsoka review. Yeah, I know that was confusing. Right. All right. Tony was glad, so of course he is a Liefeld fan. Dude, BK, how fun was that, though? How fun was that? That was a good show. You guys got to go check that out. I pieced it out for you guys, including the Liefeld part of it. But Wayseeker, if you could you take it into the news?
Well, we got good news this week. You should be excited.
Oh,
I'm finally right.
You better not.
I'm finally right.
That's how legends are made, by stories, my friend. Woo! What's
I'm
up,
still ready for this writer strike to be over so we could actually have a little bit more news. But
I know, for real.
That's like the worst thing. The best thing about the writer strike is Dave can't comment on the episodes and make them worse. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, we don't have a full 100 articles by Dave saying stupid shit. So we don't have that. But man, it's slim pickings out there right now.
They're calling this no longer news. This is now called the Wayseeker Troll segment. Let's get it.
Let's do it. All right. Right off the top, we got news this week that
what's up, Cosmic One?
The Lando show done by Donald Glover is no longer going to be a TV show. It's now being developed as a movie instead. So
But
that's
it
fine.
strikes
I don't
me
have,
kind of
I don't
funny.
have a preference.
It strikes me kind of funny. Solo did bad. No movies of individual characters. This would have made better as a TV show. All of a sudden, now a movie?
Hold on, give him the bell, dude. Oh, by the way, I just found out that S&S stole our fucking bell, but they got a better one. They do the Peppa the Pig one. I think I'm gonna steal that shit back, bro.
Ring the bell.
You seen that thing? It's Peppa the Pig. It's amazing.
We have a better one on Friday nights.
You guys stole one too? You sons of bitches. Everybody's
We have a
always
bell
stealing
thing?
our...
Oh, that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to wait till very
Is
late.
it every
in the show to play
segment?
that one.
Wait, control second.
It's not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this. You know, well, I still think it's a long shot. It's ever going to happen. But hey,
Yo, listen, I think it'd be better as a TV show. A movie? I don't know. You know,
So are we going to get any Billy D in this thing? Are they going to deep
Hopefully
fake
not.
it,
By the time
or-
they get this done, Billy D's gonna be fucking dead.
well, yeah,
Billy
why
D's
even
got.
narrate it?
Hey, listen, Billy
It doesn't
D's got.
matter.
Hold on, Billy D's got to survive Detroit.
Right,
It
but
ain't an easy
it
place
doesn't
to
matter.
survive,
What
man.
we've learned now, you don't have to be alive. They can deep
Fair.
fake him. I'm
Sorry
sure
about
they
my cough, guys.
mapped out his face plenty.
I know Don
I
wants
love Billy
Kira.
D.
Don wants Kira to come back. That's all
And
Don's
hates
asking
the
for.
S&S one. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's flattering, anyways. Whenever somebody copies your stuff, I think it's really flattering. So
This is about the only real news of the week. So now we go into Taika Waititi came out this week and made some jokes about his script and said he's not anywhere near ever finishing his thing, and he's joking that he may never be able to finish this thing. I know Dom thinks it's like easy and you can just write a script in 3
One
days or
person just sits
whatever.
there.
And why can't
well,
they?
Dom's got his.
Here's the reason: because people can't finish their scripts.
I never said it was easy.
I am willing to bet. I was out in Baltimore and I was just recruiting writers all over the place because that's what I do when I go to Baltimore. And I've got some extra writers and editors that will help Dom. I think we should start a Star Wars series of risque Star Wars stories. They're all in. We've got some people all in on it, Dom. So whenever you're ready, it'll be like fan fiction, and then we can just send it over to Disney.
Don't give Dom that kind of latitude.
And Dom,
you
open that door. You open that door. I don't just open up like that. I come right in.
No.
But what?
No.
Taiko does a lot of stuff other than Star Wars. He does a lot of directing and
What's up,
writing
Joe?
for other non-Star Wars related projects. So
yeah, I don't think this was ever happening though. I think he's
listen. Yep.
It's gonna it's not just it's Boba Fett helping Leia get into the slave Leia costume before he ties her up to Jabba. That's what it is.
Yes, and Kira's part of it, and now friggin' Shanti's in it with Sabine.
Who's here?
And there's a love story right there that happens to be, and Boba Fett gets to film that love story in it.
Hey JJ.
Hey, JJ.
Howdy.
JJ's here.
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Early for once.
Yeah. Dude, you can't just don't make fun of the JJ usually cuts our Ahsoka stuff, so yeah.
He did it this week, and he should.
Not
And
good.
after this week, everyone's like, "JJ, you're cutting it from here on out because it is hideous."
Anybody wanted to volunteer, you can volunteer. Thank you. Thank you.
I would. I'm all for. Everybody write it down. So anyway, this movie's never happening.
Ahsoka slides. Marco's Ahsoka slides are just a step or two above
3D.
scrambled porn from the 80s.
Hey, I just hope just look, if everybody just transfer whatever you're watching this to your phone and it'll look perfectly fine. Don't worry.
Well, listen, it's
This
like
is-
scrambled. Remember Midnight Blue back in the day?
Get the fuck out. Hey, we're supposed to be doing news. We're supposed to be trolling you, not me. Get the fuck out of here. Go away, Seeger.
All right. But Sean Levy came out this week talking about his movie, and he said he had just started writing it before the strike, and he's putting everything in it, going all in.
Oh,
excited as
so
he can be for this
close. So close. I'm sorry.
So
That's what he's saying.
what?
No, he was saying, he was just writing Star Wars before the strike. So he goes, oh, so close. So close.
Oh yeah, because you didn't get to get in.
Yeah.
No.
So this one's still going forward, and I think he's really going to try. He's a big Star Wars fan. Whether anything happens with this script or not, we'll wait to see what it's about. But yeah, this one I have more hope for than the previous one.
We got
This
lots
is
of
the news
questions.
Marco wanted to know right here. Mary Elizabeth Weinstein and Ewan McGregor's son, they asked, do they like either of these characters? And they said, no, they're obsessed with Grogu and Lola. So.
Oh shit. That's the guy who plays, I forgot oh yeah. Why would you do that to her? She has a nice face. Good job for Ewan McGregor. I mean, I bet you she's got a great personality too, but like, yeah,
Great assets, too.
Hey, Tom, don't disrespect another dude's wife. Come on, what's wrong with you?
Assets. She's pretty.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything wrong.
So what's worse, being obsessed with Nubs or being obsessed with Lola? Let's be clear here.
Which one's Lola? Lola's the robot?
Lola's the Leia's droid from.
Well,
No,
that thing's on.
100%.
It doesn't matter. Both are going on
no.
clearance.
Yeah.
I would say Nubs too, by the way.
Both are on clearance right now.
Hey, so that's what, if you wanted to know what their son is obsessed with, those are the characters from Star Wars.
Grogu and Lola.
The next Jedi Star Wars game, people are wondering if this one is in jeopardy because this week the director for the first two games, Stig Asmussen, left EA, and so he was the one that had the trilogy all mapped out and the plans, and so we'll see if that has any effect on if there's another game or how that game turns out, if the game sucks after this one. But he's gone. So, JJ, what do you think about this one?
I mean, there'll be another game if EA wants there to be another game. It doesn't matter if he's gone.
There's money there. It'll be.
But it probably won't be very good. Yeah, but who knows?
Yeah.
Cal Kestis.
TMNT, cool guy. I like it.
Listen, Cal Kestis has to come to TV now. Figure.
Hey, what's up, Chef?
Yeah. So,
dude, hey, hold on, real quickly, JJ, dude, you got to get like the 3D lightings on that fan because for some reason, like how it's showing up on your thing, it's like it's making this cool effect, dude. It's dope as shit, bro. Isn't it?
Cold over there?
It's hot as shit.
I don't know why.
Here.
It's normal.
I know it just looks cool as shit. It's like glitching in the background, so it's making a cool fucking thing.
Can't imagine living in a place where you run a ceiling fan.
Yeah, I'm running I don't know if you guys all heard, but I'm running the Comic Mafia from now on. Just so you know, you better watch out. Run the Vision. We're a bunch of gangsters.
He sends us out to do his dirty work.
That's why JJ's dressed like that. He just got back from busting some kneecaps.
I just do my hair actually.
The dumbest shit I've heard all week. Go ahead, come on, go. Fucking you guys make me laugh too much.
That are coming.
Go, stop. Let's go. Let's try.
All right, we're gonna fly through this one. In case you want to know, the Ahsoka soundtrack is now available for the first 4 episodes. So it sounds like there's gonna be 2 volumes for this one. Actually, the music's one of the better things about the show. So, but I still wouldn't buy the soundtrack.
Why? Why not?
I don't buy any
just
soundtrack.
Rehash. Yeah, what? Dude, what
Why
are you,
would
a
I buy a
fucking
soundtrack?
our 14-year-old girl in 1980? What do you mean? You buying movie soundtracks now, or what the fuck?
Why?
I also have this thing called Spotify that I can just.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Actually, I don't like the soundtrack from it.
Right? It does. Chef, does it not look like a spinning lightsaber on the ceiling that get red on there?
It's my Inquisitor saber.
Oh man, I give me Kevin Kiner. I think Kevin Kiner has brought just the Rebels music to the show really well. That's the one thing I don't mind about this show. Music. But
I hear you're drunk. Even though you've never had a drink. Sorry.
keep going. Down was excited about this one.
Yes, I was.
We're getting a Ronin prequel story that will be coming to this part of the one-shot comics for the Star Wars Vision comics, and so that one will be coming out by January from the same person that did the other Ronin comics.
It's actually pretty cool. So you get a new story for the Vision cartoon, then you get a brand new story with the first comic, and now a brand new story with the second comic, which is actually awesome. Maybe you might get an ongoing series. Who knows?
I'm all for this. This is what we wanted, right? We
like
wanted somebody other than Peach Momoko to write, stories about this stuff.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah, I
anybody
agree.
other than Peach Momoko, I'm all for letting them do whatever they want to do with Star Wars Vision one shot. That's great. Yeah. Just wish they wouldn't have done Peach Momoko first, but whatever.
It is what it is. People, I don't know. They showed me a Peach Momoko thing the other day. I think if you don't I don't. She's just interesting. It's just interesting.
I don't even know if that's
Well,
the
you know
right
what? The
word.
funny thing, the whole thing is that
Bad might be the better word.
No, that's what I'm saying. It isn't like if you don't
all bad. She has some good work, but she's doing too much.
Yeah. That's so. I had my first economics teacher when I was talking about economics was saying like there's a strawberry theory. If you eat some strawberry, like diminishing return, and it was the worst way to explain diminishing return. But he's always like, if you eat too many strawberries, then you don't like the taste of strawberry. Diminish it. You're pretty much saying diminish. And I think it's the same thing with Mocha. If you don't consume a lot of it, then you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
What happened with Rob Liefeld then? You know?
No, Ryan Liefeld was get out of here. He's always bad. I'm not rehashing that conversation from last night. He's garbage. Get out of here with that. He can't draw feet. Fucking A. Not the same. That is not the same, Dom.
I know.
We got two more.
Yeah,
we got two more. News is going quick this week because there's really not that much to talk about. Star Wars Hunters, though, for those that are still following this game, it's supposed to be coming out like 3 years ago. It got a big update this week. Got a new character, a new map, a new game mode. And so now people are wondering if maybe global release.
So they're never releasing it in the US, though, right? Yeah, never. What? When did that book come out? Was that book a year ago now?
That book came out in March, so 6 months ago. I think it's coming out in the US. I think it'll come out next spring, but I think this is probably the last big update that they're working on before the global release. So
Saggy!
I don't think it's coming to Switch. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
think it is either.
I think it's just
You
mobile.
think it's just gonna be straight mobile? Yeah. Where is it? Zag,
Ring the bell.
I don't doubt that about Zag. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I've been on a lot of shows this week. I've almost been on as many shows as Sticks. I mean, that's a lot.
Sticks just floats by. He winds up on shows. You turn around, he's there. You turn around, he's in a commercial. You turn around, he's
Dude, you haven't lived the bachelor life when you've just had. Have you guys ever ordered like the extra large pizza and eaten it for like 3 days? Like that's all you eat because you just yeah, dude. That's the thing, bro.
Nothing wrong
Just
with
order
that.
pizza, leave it there.
days for
Okay,
me.
now this is the question I got for you because my wife has told me this, and now she doesn't, and I hate it. But you don't put the pizza in the fridge, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Cold pizza is great for breakfast.
Yeah, I actually love cold pizza.
No, you just leave it out, right?
That's a
cold pizza.
Cold
pizza
breakfast
from the fridge.
Really?
Yeah.
You see,
I
that's
never
the
did
thing
that.
with me.
Six is
pizza
60.
don't-
No, he's 64, John. Thank you very
The
much.
pizza don't make the refrigerator. I want to feed it, so it
What's
doesn't
that?
matter. It doesn't make the next day.
Yeah, if you put it in the fridge, yeah. I don't reheat it anyways. You just leave it out. Just leave it out, man. Cold pizza is magic, really?
Yeah,
I
cold
don't
pizza
like
is
it.
so good.
Barbecue chicken pizza is actually really good cold.
I mean, I can't think of too many pizzas that aren't good cold. So, hey. And then the last news of the week,
Jesus Christ.
we got a High Republic character encyclopedia preview it's coming out in December of this year. Get
Diminishing
all
return.
the information that you want to know right here from Marco for the Gen Gear.
Carnivorous plant.
Pages upon pages upon pages on the Gen Gear will be coming right from Marco. We're going to make Marco review all of this by himself because he loves
Not the
it so
Dre Gear
much.
bullshit. That was the worst mistake they've ever made. They're going to bring. By the way, I don't know if you've heard the rumors, Dom, but they're bringing the Drain Gear back.
They are?
That's
Well-
what I hear.
Well, listen, what they should have did was way back when Dernge came back, they showed up in Dr. Aphra. They talk about an alien creature that hasn't been around for friggin' decades or wherever centuries. It should have been the Dream Gear, and friggin' Dernge should have been inside the Dream Gear and got out. That's what it should have been. But I don't do Star Wars. If Disney only listened to me.
Nobody wants to drink
Nobody
it.
wants to drink Gear,
Nobody
Dom.
wants to
Nobody wants this.
We used to watch this as a kid. Remember
Nobody
the,
wants Dirge.
remember the TV shows back in the day?
Gear.
remember Spaceball, Space Nuts, and all those TV shows that used to come on? The Seaweed Monster
Hey,
on the
I
beach.
eat anchovies.
This is it.
I do eat anchovies with my pizza.
And that is the week. in
That's
Star
weak,
Wars.
man. That is weak.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry.
look, Dom's not even riled. You didn't even give him any stories. All right.
There's nothing about Boba Fett all week. I looked everywhere like
Listen, there was a
Boba Fett,
Boba Fett
anything.
story. There was a Boba Fett story. They actually was talking about season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett that they have to. It has to be done. It was actually on.
Put Dom's drink here with you.
It's on one of those, one of those non-reputable Dom sites.
No, it's not non-reputable. Actually, you know what's funny? My wife.
Don't knock Wayseeker.
My wife actually told me about it, and I said, "Oh, you actually read it?" She goes, "I thought of you when I seen this." I said, Oh, look at that. You know, she loves me. You know,
Because you were talking in your sleep, Dom. That's where she got it from.
yeah.
There's no way there's gonna be a bookable.
I know people are gonna lie about this, but y'all have had anchovies on your pizza before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
don't like
good.
it.
Yeah,
I don't
especially
like it,
you
but I've
stuff.
had it.
What is
I
wrong
also had
with you?
squingili on my freaking pizza too.
I'd
Oh.
much rather
It's
have
the comic
pineapple
mafia. You need
than
the Italian food, the squingili on the
anchovies. If I, had to
I
pick
will
between
have.
two.
I will eat
It's all
pineapples before I eat anchovies on my
Yeah.
pizza.
Absolutely.
You don't like the eye looking at you?
botanical
When
guy.
you go about to bite the pizza, the eye is looking at you?
No, I'm good without that.
Nope.
It is not a no go. It's what's good on is stuffed pizza. They make something called a stuffed pizza out here.
Yes, we get it here too.
Yeah, stuffed pizza is good. All right, let's get
So, like,
into
they have Detroit style pizza.
Detroit style pizza is a deep dish, but it's not. It's like it's a thicker crust. It's a lot of oil, and then they put
bread.
Yeah, it's a lot of bread. It's not really pizza. It's just a shit ton of bread with a little bit of sauce, a ton of cheese.
Because we have a Detroit style pizza here in Denver.
Yeah, but it's not like
It's like $25 for a pizza,
Yeah.
but it was good. But it was just bread. It was bread.
yeah, it's bread. It's a lot of fucking bread.
and
So
butter.
there's two.
Lots of bread.
So there's two types of pizza out here. Well, there's three. The Little Caesar pizza is technically a Detroit style because it's from here. They make a Detroit style, which is from Buddy's, which is the one you had, where it's just a ton of grease and just a shit ton of bread with a little bit of sauce and a little bit of cheese and a couple toppings. And then there's something called the stuffed pizza, which is pretty much their competition for the Chicago style pizza, but it's really just like a huge ass calzone, and they throw a ton of shit in the middle. It was like pretty much whatever's left from the deli counter. They throw that shit in there, and they throw in the cheese, and then they fucking melt that shit down, and it comes this thick. It's like fucking like you pick it up, and it's a piece of pie. It's literally like a piece of fucking pie out about that big, this thick, and yeah, that fucking thick. It's just got cheese and fucking ham and sausage and shit in it.
Here's the Drengier from the 70s.
Tom, we doing gays.
Please stop.
Dom cares. The fuck is that?
That's the it should be a TV show back in the 70s.
We're gonna get a YouTube strike for that one.
No, we're not. Not for that. It is, dude. It's good. The next time I go, there's only one place. There's a couple places that make it. Vinny still makes it.
Yes.
But Vinny, oh fucking hey, Vinny's. But I
That's
mean,
right.
you can't.
Have a
You can
slice,
eat.
not the pie.
Yeah. No, that one. If you have the pie, you will die. You will die if you have the pie. The pie's like, yeah, but it's cheap. It's only like $25, but it'll feed you for a month, dude.
They got a pizzeria in Brooklyn. Apparently, they make like a 32-inch pizza, a freaking pie, and it's huge. And you freaking they ask you to eat it. You go on the wall. Yeah, if you eat the whole thing, you be on the wall.
They have a pizza place out here in Denver where you don't buy by the slice, you buy by the pound. They have a
Jesus
pound
Christ,
pizza, a 5-pound
Sanders.
pizza, and a 10-pound pizza.
All right, so how long are we talking about pizza? I'll be back.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
review because now. Oh yeah, that's right. Jedi hasn't eaten dinner either. So first off that. Second off, no. Let's go. We're not doing the comments, John. Jedi, let's go with the comic review.
We're doing that now.
Oh my god!
That's usually what happens.
Oh, I thought we did Dom's toys. All right, hang on a second.
Oh, good lord. You let me down, Jedi.
Jedi's going.
While he's arguing why we're not going anywhere, he says,
There we go.
All right, here we go. Stand by. Buckle up. So today we're reviewing Darth Vader 38. We'll just go through. There are the covers. There's the artist. Soak it up. Executor Extrapatus. So basically, we got Darth Vader who's he's been sent to try and stem off this droid mess that's going on.
Droid
and because they think he can handle it. Plus, I think they also maybe want him to die. Whoever sent him, this Moss Meta or whatever.
yeah, one group wants him to die. Yes. One faction.
Oops. So here we pick it up on the Executor. Vader's fighting off all the droids.
Still got that
bang,
stupid
boom.
shield.
Meanwhile, yeah, with that ugly staff and whatever kind of shield gun.
I hope it never goes away.
Fucking
God, I
worst
hate it.
thing.
It reminds me of something. I haven't put my finger on it yet.
Pretty soon you're gonna
Power
have
Rangers. Power Rangers ride.
everywhere.
It may be Power Rangers. It reminds me of something.
Power
Does
anyway,
it?
in the
Hey, does
next
it seem like?
room-
Can I ask you a question, Jedi? Does it
Yeah,
not seem like he's
go
going to turn into a transformer, and that's going to be like the front part of
Now,
his
Power
car, like the
Rangers.
hood of his car?
Dun,
I don't know what's going on.
go
It's-
Power Vader.
In the next room, we got the droids, including Vader's valet droid or whatever, UB-40 or whatever the frick his name is. And so he's like trying to figure out how to get the master shut-off switch to all these droids so they can shut them down while Vader's out there fighting. Meanwhile, the Imperial Armada shows up because they know that the Executor is under siege. And they said, well, it may be a lost cause. Let's just go there and maybe blow it up. Plus, like I said, some people are like, Vader's on there. So it'll be 2 birds, 1 stone because we don't like Vader. So
Thanks, Reef.
Some of the Imperial officers on the Executor, they're like hiding. They've like, hiding around because they're scared of the droids. And the captain or the whatever, he's like, Vader, we got bad Imperial ships coming at us now. They're in attack formation. Maybe we should run and get out of here. And Vader's like, you never run when you're with me. And this other guy's like, all right, boomer, whatever. I mean, I guess we're stuck here. So then,
a boomer just called somebody a boomer. That's awesome.
on the other ship, we got this other. I tell you what, it's getting hard to tell these Imperial officers apart because they're all like these white Nazi looking.
It is.
And so I think we got this on the other ship. I'm pretty sure it's on the other ship. They're like, should we attack or whatever? And this one guy's like, no, because the captain of the Executor, I used to work under him.
Yes.
And he like execute whatever. And he was like,
it's like only one of the most famous Imperial officers, but that's okay. Keep going, Jedi.
Yeah, that guy. And well, he's so famous, I feel like I don't need to say who it is.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, hey, that guy like gave me an extra second or something to get on board before he ran away. So I kind of feel like I owe him his life. I owe him some more time or whatever. I owe him some help. So meanwhile, Vader's still fighting. That's what Vader does. So his help is he's sending some shuttles over there to maybe try and help out the people, the crew on the Executor. And so the captain on the Executor sends his crew out there to wave flags and give them some signals. And these people on the shuttle are like, what's that all about? And they're like, they're giving us a signal. They're saying, oh shit, there's droids. And boom, I guess the droids like
Done.
blow them up.
Vaporize.
So then on the other, yeah, what's up?
Wait, real quickly, there's a question from John. It says, why does Vader have black word bubbles? It's because typically Star Wars doesn't have this many words in their comics, but so they're trying to decipher between the two. Go ahead. You're good. They blew them up. Good job. Keep going.
So then I don't know what ship this is, to be honest with you. I think it's the ship that came there to blow up the
Well, now they're on the Executor. Now they're on the Executor. They're like, yeah.
Okay. They're like, we got droids too. We can fight them. We can fight the bad droids with our droids, not knowing those little mouse robots are running around launching their like spider things to infect all the droids, so that they go crazy and start killing the meat suits, so the Imperial dudes. Meanwhile, Vader, pew pew, he's still going at it with his gun thing. So he's killed a bunch of them, and he goes in there where the droids are like, are you guys ready to shut this thing down already? I'm doing all I can out here. And he goes, yeah, we're about ready. Meanwhile, one of them little spider droids tries to get on Vader, which is kind of the objective here, because we learned in last week that's what they want to do. They want to kind of infect Vader. But his what's the name of that droid? His little sidekick droid. Zed like catches one real cool, like
Wally.
Like catches one.
Yeah, but I think you missed it too. Like the droids they're like, hey, if we shut this down, we die. And Zed's like,
yeah. They got that moral. You're right. Yeah, they kind of got that like, moral.
Right.
Like,
you follow Vader.
Yeah, he didn't do the whoosh, but that's all right.
Zed was pretty cool. Zed was pretty cool in this comic for the first time in like 20 comics.
Nobody's confused.
So they're like, Zed is like studying this thing. It's like a booger on his finger. He's like kind of just looking at it. And one of the dead robots is like, you can't beat us. We are many. We are Legion. Whatever. They said something stupid. And Vader. Then the what do you call those big robots? The Imperial
BT
K2. K2SO.
They like start attacking because they think they can take Vader, but they don't know Vader. got that super staff or whatever. So meanwhile, they do finally, I think, Vader's like, shut this thing down already. So they shut it down, and all
Jedi.
the droids go to sleep. They're like done. They're out. They're out. Meanwhile, back, and this is where I get a little confused. Meanwhile, back on the other ship, they're like, hey, was that Vader's ship that went by? What was that all about? And it's like, I thought, oh, Vader was on that ship? Oh, shit. I thought he died, but no, he got out on his ship. And then there's like some explosions. And I think this is the officer on the executor is like, he's like, I know that dude on the other ships did me a solid and gave me some extra time, but fuck that guy. We're just going to blow him up. And they
Love
blew
it.
him
He's
up.
like,
He didn't say fuck him. He gave him 4 seconds, just like he got 4 seconds.
Yeah,
he got 4 seconds.
That was brutal, and that was a great.
Yeah,
It was 10, yeah.
He's a good dude. He's a good buddy.
He gave him the same amount of time he got, dude.
Yeah.
Solid guy.
Meanwhile, Vader goes to Mustafar with his little compacted droid-looking thing there, and he's walking, and he comes to this thing, which I can't remember the name of it. We've seen it before. It's the pig head with the spider on top, whatever. What is it called?
Eye of the Bog.
Eye
of the Bog, yeah. And Vader's like, I need my power. I need control. And the Vog's like, are you a Jedi or a Sith? He goes, I'm a Sith. He goes, well, why are you asking me, bitch? You need to just take what you want. And he goes, all right. So I don't know if he's shooting this thing or taking power from it. I think maybe he's shooting it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's shooting it, and then the thing starts either telling him something or says, hey, don't you remember back when you were a whole person and Anakin, and they told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise and how his apprentice killed him in his sleep? Hint, 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 hint. What do you think now? And Vader's like, I got it. I think I know what I'm supposed to do now. So Vader's like, walks back to his ship, and the droid's like, where are we heading? He goes, we're going to Coruscant. And the other droid's like, where the fuck is Zed at? And Vader's like, I don't care. He ain't here. He's staying. So meanwhile, we find Zed is walking around and comes across this old droid factory, and holy shit, Zed's got purple eyes. We know what that means.
Yep.
And to be continued.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't the worst book.
Any questions?
Fine.
Nope.
All right,
got it
next
down
we
pretty well.
have Obi-Wan Kenobi number
No, we
1.
don't. No, we don't.
What?
We don't review this horse shit.
No, you guys are too easy.
Oh, there you go.
So easy.
I just wanted to see if there were a bunch of panels of the whale. Obi slicing up the whale or whatever. That's all.
Where did the whale come from? As people put it, where did the whale come from?
I don't know. Next week we have, or this week, sorry, new this week, we've got bounty hunters, a couple of, one incentive, the 1 in 25 Barins, which I assume the Grievous and the Cad Bane will be the ones probably most people are gravitate towards.
The ones I like.
But the Grievous is a 1 in 25. What's up, JJ? You got something?
I like the Chiquetto, the Marco Chiquetto. I think
that was not bad. I think that's the A cover, right? Yeah, that's not bad either. Yeah, and then of course we get the continuation. Who knows how big this thing's going to be when it's done, of the droid combined cover. Or we also get D Squad coming out, and there's a 1 in 50 Macone of this one. And why they picked that cover for their 1 in 50 is anybody's guess, but that's what they did. Any of these you like, Dom? All of them?
I actually like the Tom Riley.
The Riley? Yeah.
Riley.
And FOC for this week, we have Star Wars 39, another winner that they chose for the incentive here, that Gwen number 1 in 25. I don't understand who selects these covers for these incentives.
It's awful.
Yeah, none of these are really good. I think the Rancor, the A cover is actually probably the best.
I like
really.
the Rod of the Hutt first cover appearance.
Yeah, if you're into that stuff, yeah. The Clone Wars.
Can we get the Sprouses to be done with, please?
Yes, man, we've been saying that for years. That Sprouse.
It's the 40th anniversary. Let it go. It's going to go.
No, we don't have to let it go.
No,
we can say it doesn't need to happen.
40 covers for 40th anniversary.
It's also
Ross must be the cheapest
Wait,
working
50th
artist
anniversary,
in
they
the
have 50
industry
covers.
because he'll just work for sandwiches apparently. We also have Obi-Wan #2 for the FOC, which is finally, not that anybody's going to buy this really, but finally we get a decent incentive. The guest, I think, is pretty good actually. I kind of like it.
are you getting this one because of young Leia Jedi?
No, they cannot. So I won't go all the way back, but I forget who did the A cover for #1, if it was Noto or not, but they cannot capture young Leia worth of shit. Neither one of the covers that have Leia on young Leia are any good. They're just, I don't know why they can't capture her better than that, but it's terrible.
Who's supposed to be on the Raza cover?
I was wondering that too. I was
Holy
thinking, is it
shit,
one of the
that's all bad.
gangsters
Do I not
or one of
remember that
the?
character?
What the?
That's,
Is that supposed to be one of the kidnappers or
Flea.
something?
I think it is one of the
That's
kidnappers.
Flea,
Yeah.
kidnapper, Flea from
okay.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
And then
I
we
want
have
that
the
one.
second print.
You know how much
from-
Marco likes Raza, so
too.
like there you go, Marco.
Shut up! Everybody has a bad day, bro. Everybody has a bad day.
No, nobody should have that bad of a day. That's like,
Fuck.
that like rivals your slides coming up.
Sometimes I feel like.
And lastly, we got the Lashley second print #2 for Dark Droids. That's it. That's all we got.
That's a bad day. I have a cannon head. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it. That's a rough. Yeah. That's rough. That's fucking rough. All right, Dom. Let's get to. We're flying through it this week.
Not many. So they're dropping a Funko Pop Darth Maul versus Pre Vizsla, GameStop exclusive. They just came out with the Darth Maul versus Ahsoka. So they're doing these 2-packs now with where's the Boba Fett 2-packs? God damn it! But yeah. So Pre Vizsla, pretty cool. I might pick it up, get it autographed. Down the road.
No, no.
Hey, it's small. All right, got the next one. Got a couple of Loungefly bags that are coming. You have the Ahsoka Rebels Loungefly bag and the Obi-Wan Loungefly bag coming soon. Most likely for NYCC when they do drop.
I like the Vader, but it was the other. Wasn't it the other side of Vader's mask that got cut open?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the way they put the other photo. Probably, maybe it's done right later when you get it.
I like it. Other than that, other than being,
It is, John. That's how it's going every week from now on. I'm all for it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like the guy that purposely does shit wrong at your
Not that
job
much,
so that other people do it.
Not that much.
When we finally hit a week that has 4 or 5 comics, you're going to hear me protest doing these.
Yeah, so these are coming out soon. Anybody like the bags?
No, I like the Vader. I just don't like that it's backwards.
All right, listen. This Sabine Ren figure, I want this. I want this. I want this. It is awesome. And it looks just like her. And I want this in my showcase for my Boba Fett and my friggin'
I don't think that looks like her. I think that looks more like I think Sabine would look like, actually.
Yeah, wait, go to the next picture. Which
They did a good job on her face.
look at the face.
Yeah, they gave her cheekbones and shit. They don't give any of the character. They put so much cake makeup on it. You don't. Yeah, that left one, this right one, kind of, but the left one, that's what I think Sabine would look like. That's not what the actress looks like.
But it's kind of crazy how they give it lipstick and the other one doesn't have lipstick, like kind of like they put gloss on the
Yeah,
lips.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
But
Down.
it does
You
look
can't have
hot.
that in your house. That's
I want it in my room, just sitting there looking at me. What happened to get Sabine Ren in my house?
You're weirdo, dude.
I got some more pictures. That's about it. There wasn't that much.
All you did was Sabine Red pictures on here so you could fantasize about having it in your
No,
house.
it's not that. I can't wait for Shin to come out. Shin is coming out soon. But no, the whole fact is that this toys wasn't that many toys this week. There's a lot of stuff. That was not the only thing. Probably get some more stuff next week.
Cool. Well, it's short on that. It's short on news.
Yep.
How
Yes.
many space? Well, luckily I clipped 59 shitty copies of the Ahsoka show, so we'll do that. Oh, Wayseeker, where'd you go? We'll wait for the real Sky Guy. that was our original line was supposed to be JJ wanted us to put in Return of the Sky Guy, and that was just too long for the thing. So what we do? Sky Guy Strikes Back. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what our title was?
Yeah.
All right, so we have Ahsoka slides. We are slowly rolling this to hopefully wait till Wayseeker gets back, which I don't know. I guess we had a short toy week too. So, oh no, Dom wants to do Sabine.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam in the fiction. All right. Here we go. Big Ahsoka review. This is the best slide you're gonna see so far. Okay, because it's called Shadow Warrior. The problem is
Wait,
shut up. Shut up. I clipped it in MIDI. I copied it in MIDI.
I think if you look at it like this,
I'll go back and shrink them all so they're tiny.
3D glasses. They're in some comic books. Go pick it up.
All right, fuck you. I'm skipping this slide because I gave this slide just for Dom and the rest of you pervs.
Perfect. And listen,
That's what I did.
I can see that perfectly. That's perfect.
Oh, now you can see it perfectly.
Yeah.
So Sabine hits the planet. It's going to go look for everybody. She can't find anybody there. He did the scan. The sun comes out with Chopper. Hey, you watch out for each other. Maybe. And they find the little mechanic droid. He's got the helmet and said, I told them to stay together. Bad line. I don't get the line. It's kind of stupid.
Well, he said that they work better together, and they weren't together. And
he was right though. Like, you told them to sit together. The first thing they do is separate.
Yeah, valid point. Valid point. And then she's like, "Hey, wait, what the hell? Where's Ahsoka? Where's Sabine? Where's everybody else?" And he's like, "I feel something." You can just tell it from the way he looks. He's got the. I know people stop making fun of the way this kid looks. By the way, that's kind of rude. A lot of people have been doing that. That's not nice.
The kid looks fine. Your picture of the kid looks awful.
Yeah, what the hell is that? This looks like an Atari game back in the day.
Shut your mouth, Dom. Hey,
16-bit graphics.
So, hey, so here it is. Do you know what I did? You really want to know the sad part about this? I cut this through Stick's thing, so maybe it isn't his internet. Maybe it's the thing that he sends me. Really jacked up. So we got there to. Let's just get it off our chest. What the fuck is this? Is this purgatory? Like I said last week, this is fucking purgatory, kind of, right? This is what we're fucking doing.
Who the hell?
I still
it's like Dream World.
It's still.
I think it's Dream.
It's still a world between worlds.
It's not the world between worlds.
It's not. There's no portals. There's no Dom. Come, Dom. I know you want to be that. I know you want it so you can, for some reason.
Listen, the planet they're on, it's a really strong in the Force. So those portals come everywhere. So she could have fell into it and then wound up.
Except for at the end, we see there's no portal. There's no fucking portal.
How do you cut the floor and like fall into a different world? That's not.
Yeah, she definitely was thinking, "What's up, Kyle?"
World between worlds. Anything is.
Also, wouldn't they have noticed there's a portal right off the cliff?
They are from the flip phone.
So
yeah. So okay. Either way, I mean, this wasn't the world between worlds. This made no sense. It kind of was like a dream. And he's like, this is the other part. This is the other part too. I've heard people brutalize what was said here. He's like, he said, hey, something, whatever, but he was inferring that she's not dead yet. And people were like, well, the training meant like she didn't finish her training. No, he pretty much said like, if you have to fight me for the right to live or whatever, and that you don't have that, you haven't given up. When did she ever want to die? I don't think this means like I'm dying. I feel like
that she's been in misery because of what happened. That's why she had no personality in the first 4 episodes.
I think.
Yeah, except for here's the problem. Hold on. Between what that fucking happened, they literally show a scene that happened after that. Oh, get out of here with the 20 megapixel. There's literally we've seen because Dom, you're the guy. Hey, if you haven't watched everything and 77 in the theater, no right to talk. Well, then you know one fucking thing. Anakin. That she left Anakin, and Anakin became Vader a long fucking time, and since then she's been a bunch of other shit, such as Falcon. She's fucking Falcon. She's right around. She had the thing of Mandalore.
The entire
she's been fighting since the kid.
Yeah, but she wasn't this. She wasn't fucking this. There's tons of time between when Anakin and her split up. And she hasn't been wanting to kill herself or given up the will to fight and shit like that.
Because wait till you see now. Just keep going.
I did see. I watched the fucking episode. It doesn't make sense, bro.
It does make sense. You have to really look deep into it. You didn't look deep into it.
What? You mean you got? Sorry, dude. You mean you got to put some word salad on it?
You got to read 50 articles from.
No, you have to read deep into it. There's a lot. There's a lot of things that are in it that it's meant saying. It's not just her standing there. The way she's been acting is many things.
Dom. This TV show is supposed to be for the general public.
I feel like.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to tell Dom that I don't think Filoni watches the show. He might. So you can stop auditioning to be his aide or his assistant.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like you're explaining stuff. Like I can just picture someone interviewing Filoni is like, well, how did they get the how did she fall into this forceful trap? And Filoni will start to answer, and Don will be like, well, no, the planet is strong with the Force. When the fuck did it say that planet is strong with the Force? I don't remember hearing any of that.
Or the water, even.
But the whole
And
fact
Filoni's like, oh, yeah, the planet is strong with the Force. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
he's making this shit along. Look, there's a lot more deep messages in this.
No,
when you watch it.
dude, there's not a deep
It is.
message.
I'm sorry, Don.
No,
but
it's fan service. There's not a deep message.
This I counted out because this was all in slow cut. I counted out how many through all the fight scenes, how many times this exact fucking pose was done here, done in the Clone War things, done when she fights him again. Do you know this exact hilt battle them like this from a different angle, from her angle, 22 times. 22 times in the fight scenes.
Okay.
That's not good fight scenes, bro. Like, it's just not. Like, you should do different shit. Anyways,
I will say this, going back, I think this was Hayden probably his best in Star Wars. All of his work that he's done.
The one thing I did when I talked to people and I asked them why they love this, they said it's because it redeemed Hayden as an actor. I think that's a lot of people love this episode because
Hayden as a runner because the way he was running, like he had a load of shit in his pants.
He was able,
that was
he was able to portray
the fact that his face looked weird the entire time.
No, it did look weird. It was actually, I think the CGI.
Dude, no, the one where they have him, this one right here in this early episode when he's
like
General Skywalker. No, it looked like Headless Horseman. It did. There was a lot of
it. Cartoon. It looks like the cartoon.
Dude, you need to go back and look at it. It looks like his head is detached from his armor. Yeah, it looks Photoshop. Thank you. Yeah,
but also, it sounded to me like he went back and he watched Clone Wars because he sounded a lot more like Anakin from Clone Wars from the animated show. So he like changed his voice a little bit just to like do that. I thought he just did a really good job. I felt with Anakin. I think Ahsoka was still really, really weak, but Hayden, I think was the best.
Well, no, okay, so I wouldn't agree that all Ahsokas were weak. I would agree.
Young Ahsoka was better than.
I thought Young Ahsoka was better. Yeah, I did.
Well, yeah, that might be true. But
I mean, you used a lot of shadowing in this stuff to add a little bit of a flair too, which was okay.
How awesome was this to see Clone Wars cartoon in live action? Come on,
it was cool.
How can you not be excited?
Yeah, it was cool.
Again, though, that's not why I watched the show.
But that's not. Yeah, but once again, yeah, it's a filler episode at this point, right? Like it doesn't do anything.
You know what?
No, I don't think that's true, Marco. I really do think this is going to be a transformational aspect about Ahsoka. Learning the lesson that she had to learn so she can move forward. But
what was the lesson she learned? Okay, we'll talk about it later.
They shouldn't have went back and forth with Hera. It should have just been with Anakin and Ahsoka. That's all it should have been.
No, they had to get the They had to get
the rest.
I know, but at the end they should have did it. They just should have left it like this. Her and the wars. Look, let me tell you, this was very touching because this showed you that she really didn't want to fight. She's like, why am I a Padawan? I'm a Jedi. I'm not supposed to fight. And the same thing. Remember, Mace Windu said, we're keepers of the peace, not warriors. And then all of a sudden,
hold on. When she actually was going through her trial and they said, hey, we forgive you. She also said the same fucking thing. So it's not like this ain't a rehash.
I know.
So if you watch all this stuff, none of this shit's new.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's just
I mean, this was what I said we were probably gonna get, which was Christmas past, Christmas future. I mean, we got it. We got the Common Day Pass bullshit. I did think it was
these scenes. The reason they included the scene with her with the soldiers and the questioning, I think it was lending that audience that maybe hasn't watched the animated thing of why she left in the first place, because it's kind of sowing that first seeds of doubt, maybe.
Right, but that isn't exactly why she left. She left because they accused her falsely of. But yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
It's also showing like she was
down that. Am I doing the right thing? Being part of the order.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean that. So I cut both scenes together because we had two scenes back to back, pretty much. I thought it was cool to see. I mean, like you got to be stoked when you start to see the Death Watch in their outfits. That was cool, man.
It was Caesar Mandalore. But you know what's funny? When it first came on, did you think it was animated? It looked animated a little bit.
No, I didn't think so.
No, but I thought it was weird that they didn't age up young Ahsoka at all.
Yeah, they didn't age up. I agree. They did age up young Ahsoka, and then they give them both grumpy hands. So apparently, She got grumpy hands from.
And how cool that this was like a splitting image of the cartoon when they sit together next to each other in the cartoon.
I have a
Yeah,
question
it's all
about
right.
this one though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're talking about earlier, or you were asking the question, do we think this is some in her head, or is this really happening in a some other realm or whatever? If this was in her head, which is what I thought it was, when Anakin comes up and says, "I don't recognize this. Where are we?" When
He was never
that kind
there.
of gave me. Hey, Dom, can I finish, please? That makes me wonder: was this actually in her head, or was this actually on another? Was she actually visiting some other? Was she actually visiting Anakin? Basically.
Oh, I took it as it was in her head at that point because then she was dreaming Anakin there to show him what actually happened. Once again, it takes away from what Dom said earlier, though. We're sorry, were you done, Jedi? Did you have a point there?
Yeah.
But I also,
That's just, that made me wonder.
No, yeah, I took it as
Mark was pointing here. Darth Vader knows what happened on his place. So if it was actually the Force Ghost, even though he wasn't there, his memory would know exactly where he was. Because
And here's number two.
Battle.
Yeah.
It makes no sense for that.
But here's
he didn't
all.
say, I don't remember this place though. He just said I don't remember the battle.
He was killing.
Yeah,
He was already
Right, yeah.
doing something else when she was on Mandalore doing this. He wasn't there, so he didn't know what was happening on Mandalore.
Yeah, okay. But she was already split up from him.
Mandalore.
This defeats your purpose anyways because she'd already split from him at this point.
Yeah, she was already one
Yeah,
place.
no, you said as soon as she split from him, he was grumpy, and that's why they had to do this so that she could stop being grumpy. Well, she wasn't grumpy because we saw this shit.
I get that she split him, but you still have knowledge of this important battle if you're Darth Vader.
Well, she talked to him about it too.
He was just turning to Darth Vader. He was already planning on doing his
Did
thing.
we forget how that battle happened?
He was never there. That's why he said, "I don't know this war."
So then she just throws her to the ground and she turns back into whatever this puddle shit is. And there she is. Now we'll switch back to the other story. We got the little boy sitting there with the chopper. Wow, that came in really good.
The boy, that's
really good. And he starts to. You see him standing. He just starts feeling something.
Line around them.
I actually like this. I like how they did this, and then I'll tell you why. Because it proves that they could actually make this a good fucking show. So he's like, in his kind of corny way, he goes, "Don't you hear it? Don't you hear it? And, Mom, don't you hear it? Come here. Don't you hear it? Don't you hear it?" And now they got this is a classic Star Wars scene where you see people gazing out of either starships or whatever, looking a certain way. I thought that was kind of cute because just how they did it. But you start to hear the things. And the part that makes this great, and it actually explained a lot of stuff, is all of a sudden Opa goes, "Hey, they want to talk to you, Command." And she's like, "We're going to fly over here one more time because my son does." And then this is the best part of this whole fucking season. I think if you did more stuff like this season would be fucking amazing. When the droid walks up and just a couple line goes, he can feel the Force. You know his dad was Kanan Jarrus, a Jedi. And it explains so much shit.
Wait a minute. I wanted them to do that in the second episode, and you said it was fine that they didn't do that.
No, well, they did. No,
it's the best part of the season.
No. At that point, I was glad that he didn't because they didn't really have him use Force powers. The minute they had him use Force powers, they did it, and it explained it all. I thought it was great how they did it. I really do. So I'm okay. It makes that part, but it makes even the second episode part even better now. If they did that, but the rest of the shit they haven't explained. I'm sorry, that back shit was cool, seeing all that shit, but that didn't explain shit. You asked, that didn't explain.
I like Mr. Kim's, and I'm going to call him Mr. Kim because I don't care.
From Kim's Groceries, yeah, Opa, yeah, from Kim's Groceries,
Opa, yeah. I like his reply to that was kind of like, all right, whatever. It's just
I like when you mentioned Princess Leia.
What do you say to it?
Khan is covering for you, Hera. So leave it down.
You feel bad for him this episode. He's like the shit run interference guy.
Oh yeah, they fuck him over hard.
Yeah.
So Hera gets the boy sits back down for some reason, doesn't do shit. Hera's like, fuck it, let's go fly over the fucking lake. Let's find this motherfucker. Oh wait, I didn't go back to the part. Well, I missed it. I didn't clip it in there.
I like that information from
it was a good scene.
Anakin from Vader. That was awesome.
That was really well
done.
done.
So here's the transition, which I knew they were like. I was like, okay, of course, there it is, because he always does this. This is one of his tropes. So I'm like, all right, we get the Vader, and I mean, it's kind of getting boring at this part, but whatever. He comes back. He's like, I'm going to teach you once again the same fucking, like, now she's got two, but it's the same fucking style. And then the worst part of the fucking fight scene happens, where she like ducks down really slowly, swings around him, and then he somehow turns around and loses his lightsaber, which
One of
didn't
the
make
best duelists
fucking
of the Jedi
It
Order.
made sense
shit up.
that she now. That's the reason why she changed, because she was able to.
Hold on.
Yes,
Dom,
I get the metaphor. Tom.
First off, it looked the actual. If you watch it in real time, it looks like when you're teaching old people dance steps for the first time. It's like, okay, step 1, step 2, duck down, 1 to your right, 1 to your left, turn around. Now you have a lightsaber in your hand. Number 2, there's no fucking way she's taking.
Marco, it's a TV show. You know what I just said? It's a TV show.
Well, I think you have to remember too. This is not actually Anakin. She's fighting. She's fighting.
Fair point.
Anakin's
Anakin.
Freaking Force Ghost in her, not in the world between worlds. She
It's
was
not a
in
Force
the-
Ghost. It's not the world between worlds. It's
Yeah.
all in her head.
It is
It's
the
all in
world
her head.
between worlds.
Yeah, it was. It was a cha-cha slide. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross.
There's a Force element to
cross.
it,
Anyway,
clearly. Because
anyway.
Jason could hear it. So like there's clearly a Force element to it,
Yeah.
She
but it was-
wanted to live.
but it wasn't
Right,
the world
she
between
wanted to live.
worlds.
So I have a little metaphor for you guys about this. Anakin became.
Oh, you please don't tell me the Mortis bullshit.
No.
No,
Anakin
don't you
became-
dare.
Well,
Don't you
no,
fucking
no,
dare.
listen to me. I'm not
Oh,
saying
let him
Mortis,
say it.
no.
Oh, how about I say it? Because I watched.
No.
I can see what he's going to say before he says it because I watched the show he watched.
No,
I
no,
watched
no,
it.
no.
Go to the
No.
dark side if you keep
No.
cutting them off.
No, Anakin became what Palpatine wanted to become. He finally became. He can bring people back to life. Ahsoka came back to life. He got the power to do that
no,
now.
Dom.
He's immortal.
No.
Yes.
Where do you get any of that?
Okay, that's not what I thought I was going to say.
Think
I
about
thought he was-
Anakin.
I thought he was going to double down on the Mortis daughter and son thing.
Well,
That
I
would have been
didn't.
better. That would have been a better theory than the one he just got.
I'm just saying that he achieved what Palpatine was trying.
No.
I'll give you
Immortality.
this much, Dom. If all that was
Yes.
actually in there, it would have actually explained what the hell was going on. Versus
Listen.
the non-explanation we got for everything. But
Listen,
other than the fact that it's
Ahsoka could have died. Look,
memory
she,
getting
look, back in the water, she was reborn to friggin'.
I think Dom is trolling right now. I don't think he believes anything he's
I
saying.
don't-
it's
know.
basically one long Rocky trope, right? Where Rocky gets knocked down and he has like a 5-minute flashback of
Yeah,
Mickey training him or some shit, and then he
Yeah,
gets up and beats
get
the guy.
up, Brock, get up.
Yeah, and that's what this was. So next
Yeah.
episode or whatever, she's probably gonna run into Balin again and beat him in a fight, and then that's gonna be.
And then she just pops up, so she's not really drowning. And then all of a sudden, they sent a fucking United States Navy SEAL Coast Guard unit in there to fucking pull her out.
So
And then she walks out. She walks out the first time, and she's like, "Oh shit, I'm wearing gray robes. I better go back inside." She goes back inside and he
she's
goes,
smiling, she's happy. There's
"Now I got white robes on. I got white robes on. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna stand here with my white robes. White robes." She sees that the thing's broken. She's like, "Oh, I should probably go get Sabine too." Which, okay, cool, whatever.
You're gonna get
You
it.
got no pictures of her without the headdress thing on? Because that was a little weird.
No, later on I do. It's weird.
Well,
I don't know what I expected, but it was weird.
I thought it was like a full robe too. It's like a bed sheet
Mhm.
wrapped around her. Or something.
Yeah, it's weird. So then Opa or Mr. Kim, whatever you want to refer to him, is like, "Yo, dude, they're really calling you. You have to get in there."
That Leah can't cover for you anymore.
And
Leah-
she's like, "Listen, dude, they're gonna give you a tribunal. They're gonna take everything away. So what do you gotta say to that?" And Hera's like, "Fuck it, let's go flying." So they go flying to go find some sperm whales. And Ahsoka's I got a great idea. I watched the movie Dory, and then she's
or
like,
Pinocchio.
"Cool."
She Pinocchio'd it.
She goes, "I speak whale. Can I get inside your
wait,
mouth?"
listen, Ezra speaks to the whales. She speaks to them too. She's got the Force.
In the meantime, the resistance comes down. It's like, "Hey, listen," and this is a play on that fucking opening scene with Poe and like, "Yeah, hey, who's this? Can I order a pizza?" bullshit. They do that dumb shit here back and forth, but this time with Opa, he's like, "I don't know. Oh, who are you? What are you? What's your clearance code? What's my clearance code?" Feel kind of bad for him. In the meantime, what?
This picture, okay, I was going to bring this up at the end, but since you have captured it perfectly here.
Thank you,
well,
Jedi.
not perfectly, but good enough. Good
Shut
enough.
it!
Why do these whales? Okay, so whales in the ocean, they have those little like filaments or whatever in their mouth,
Yeah, to catch
so
stuff,
that
yeah.
they can capture the stuff
Plankton
in the
and shit,
sea.
yeah.
And
Filters out the
why
water
do
from
these
the grill.
things have to have it? I don't understand why these things have that. I don't know. Jedi's being nitpicky. I'll accept it. I'll take it. But that was it's just one of those things that bugged me. I'm like,
It is
why did
Gandalf
they
Boy.
need these things?
They
Anyway,
eat space shrimp.
Yeah, no, they don't.
plankton,
Space
They-
krill,
they
yeah,
plankton.
krill. Everybody say krill.
Krill.
I'm thinking. That was the foul Ezra. Yeah, I don't know. That's also a big thing. Why didn't anybody ever think about foul using them? Anyways, no, it gets better. So then she's like, "Cool, let's just drive backwards into it." Okay, and then all of a sudden he's still playing off. They're like, "Don't go." This is the part that didn't make any sense.
So you missed the part where she admits she didn't talk to the whale. She basically had no clue what the whale said.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
she
what
did.
she's saying here. She's like, but that's what this is like. Hera's like, can't I just go? And she's like,
Nope.
yeah, nope.
See, like, so she's going on the journey by herself. There you
Yeah.
go.
But why? That
Because
doesn't make any sense.
Hera's got a kid with her. Hera's not going to take. He said not going to take the kid on this
So
journey.
Hera said eventually, but she did ask to go. I don't know. They should just.
I mean,
She'll put her kid in the line of fire
I'm not
with
going to
a.
take my.
Not
My
gonna take
little
the kid
kid
on
on
a
a-
dangerous journey. She just got hyperspace attacked in the last episode with her kid.
I know, right?
But she doesn't even know where it's going to go. She has no clue. She's not going to.
Thank you. She still has
I
parts of
wouldn't
Mortis.
take the kid on that journey.
She
As a
doesn't.
parent?
No, sorry. I don't even, dude. I think that's a red herring by Dom. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well,
I mean,
what?
well, that's the last of Dave right there. So I don't think we're getting any more Mortis brothers or sisters.
Totally.
Right? Dave doesn't
totally
have
makes
another
sense to
episode.
me. That doesn't make. Yeah, I don't know why you have
What?
trouble with
That
that.
doesn't make sense.
The Mortis theory that you have.
The Mortis, I think he has some kind of, he's a Mortis guy. I think he's the balance. I think that's how he's able to go in the that plane of the world between worlds.
We didn't see the world between worlds though.
That was the world between worlds.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Even assuming it was the world between
Just
worlds,
say okay.
you don't have to be part of the Mortis family to go to the world between worlds. Ezra went to the world between worlds twice. He's
I
not
know, but he
connected to the Mortis.
was able to go through because of the Mortis guys. He had the.
But Ezra
the
has
Force.
nothing to do with the Mortis guys, and he was able to go through twice.
But Anakin
don't
is
use
the
logic.
balance. He's the balance now.
Well, he's not anything now because he's dead.
He's dead.
He's the balance.
No,
And-
he can bring
and-
people
Who
back
is the
from
balance?
the dead.
He's
according
not-
to him.
He's dead, but he can
Well,
bring
what
people
he did
back from the dead while he's
he
dead.
can do that now. He has the power that Palpatine wanted.
Yeah. Hera hasn't given shit. Somebody needs to call child services on
Child
Hera.
service.
There is a valid point.
No, it's not true. She listened to him, and nobody else would. She was a good
Nah,
mom.
I'll give you
And look,
that.
you know another thing too is that the whole thing with that going inside the whale's mouth. That's actually much better than the freaking goddamn map being on her hand. So it didn't work that way. So she went in the damn.
That's what
Yeah.
we said. This
Nobody
makes more
mentions the
sense
fact
than
that
that
she let a
theory
war
of Matt
criminal
being
be-
on the
We literally
Yeah.
said this last week. I got that a little bit wrong. I thought it was going to come out of the water with her, but instead she floated in the mouth.
What was the bet last week that Dom lost double or nothing?
I don't know. He
Hey,
lost.
I
a bunch
still part of that is Disney.
no,
I got
you
it.
lost. Dude, you got.
You
You lost. You lost.
No, listen,
Dom.
Go back.
my
Go
theories
back.
are great. Disney is stupid for not using them. One day
Okay.
they will use them.
Disney will never listen to you, Dom. Ever.
Disney will use them. My
So
theories are
I
great.
mean, this is the other problem that I think. Yeah, we did have whale farts to go into hyperspace, but this is the other part now. We're gonna see this a bunch. Because this is actually the last scene, but it was also 5 other scenes where all she does now in the white robe is just glare out in the distance with a half-ass smile. So enjoy your new Ahsoka. She's no longer gonna be doing this shit. Now she's just gonna be doing
Yeah,
this.
because that's what Anakin did. We even saw the scene with Anakin and her like that.
This is
She's no
stupid.
longer the warrior. I mean,
It's
that's the
stupid.
transformation.
You know what this is? Space whale farts. Anyways, that's all
I
I
feel
got.
like that scene where Anakin and them were both like this was just showing the transformation of who she was to who she's going to be. That's not going to be her anymore because she's not going to be like Anakin. She's not.
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
it's
the
not like she's gonna be
warrior.
better. She's now
Listen,
just gonna be this
listen.
smiling shithead with the white
And
robe.
this
Did you
Anakin,
get when
this-
Anakin
this
told
is what I
her
feel like was so cool about
everything
him.
I am, you are? And did you see the her eyes when they were fighting? That she was like turning to the dark side too. The eyes, the red. in
That
her
was
eyes.
just reflection, Dom.
Yeah, it was
It
reflection. It was all over
there's
the
a
place.
metaphor to that.
It was
Think
no
about it.
metaphor to that.
She's not going to be what Anakin is. She's
Not going to be what Anakin is.
And
No,
now she
she already
passed the
isn't.
trial. She passed the trial, and
she
that's
didn't
why.
pass any trial.
Oh,
had to let
boy.
it go.
What Star Wars do you look at, dude? Come on.
She
What
was
do
no
you- what you-
dream. There's no trial in a
Yeah,
dream.
it was a dream. Hey, for Dom, you are trying to navigate this so that you could try to somehow in your mind get a quote unquote win, which we're not playing winning and losing here, so that you can somehow something that you word salad you have said over the last 3 months will then get you some point for nobody who's keeping score about anything. The fact is that was not the World Between Worlds or any form of the World Between Worlds we know. That definitely wasn't.
How do you know? They only showed it one time. You don't know what the world.
Because we've seen the World Between Worlds before.
Yeah,
there was no portals. There wasn't a single fucking portal there.
You can't cut the floor off the World Between Worlds.
You didn't see her
fall.
fall. Okay.
You can't cut
We did. We saw him push her.
He pushed
through
her.
the smoke.
But she could have fell into the portal and onto the World Between Worlds.
Wait. So now she fell to the water portal, even though she was in the water and she never came out of it. Hold on. She never came out of that. And then she fell through the smoke, through a portal that's behind the smoke into the ground. So now,
real quick, he's not the only one saying that's the World Between Worlds. It's out there an awful lot. And also, I would be highly surprised if Filoni doesn't come out and call it the World Between Worlds at some point, because Filoni didn't give a shit about how it worked and just put it in there however the fuck he wanted to.
Yeah, I think he's going to listen to Dom first. This is hilarious, though. Silent but deadly space farts are a delicacy on dead. Yep. I don't know why I find that funny, but I find it funny, so I'm giving him the bell. I agree with you, by the way, Jay. Filoni can say whatever he wants, but that was not the World Between Worlds. There was no time traveling there. There is no
time. World Between Worlds is not time travel.
What do you mean?
It's not time
you just told us last week it was time traveling.
It's not time travel.
Space and time. That's what you said. 100
Space and time. There's
Wayseeker, you fucking freaked out so much you broke your mic. We cannot hear you.
Slow it down real quick. It's absolutely time travel, Dom. The whole point of Ezra being tempted by the Emperor at the end of Rebels is the fact that he could tempt him with his parents being brought back to life via time travel.
Certain points, certain points, I know. But
still doesn't realize
it's not like they can go to the beginning.
I don't know what happened.
Nothing.
What's up, Bruce? The microphone's like, I'm not going to work.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, there was good
time travel though. It's not time travel. It's a connection between all points in time where you.
It's
not like you can just like go through a portal and go back in time to before Order 66. Like that's not true. It's something happens at a certain time, and so like that's why Ahsoka has to leave from the same one that she gets pulled out of, because she can't just go through a different portal, because that's not the portal she came in.
I know, but the regular world
out from the one you came in from. You can't go through a different one.
Hey, you
to go through the portal that she got pulled out of after Ezra left in that World Between Worlds. It makes
all I'm hearing is that none of this shit makes sense, because everybody's got a different theory on how this shit is, and I'll be honest with you, all of them sound good, but none of them are fucking defined. None of them, not a fucking thing. So like, and that was the one part when I asked people, because I took out my clipboard, and they were for every person, which wasn't a lot, it said this was a 9 out of 9 or 10 out of 10. I asked, what did you find so great about this episode? And they said that they brought almost to a T. Every one of them said that they brought Hayden Christensen back and he looked good. And I said, okay, so did that make any sense though? What was happening? Did they make any sense? What was happening? And they said, absolutely not.
It made total sense. Total sense though.
It didn't. I'm just telling you what they said.
It was moving away from Ahsoka being the warrior like Anakin was, and now Ahsoka is going to actually learn how that she can actually care and not be this distant person like Anakin was. And that was
here's the only problem with this. She was already Falcon, so we already know she did care. So it doesn't make sense.
She didn't even have a
she did, because she cared for the rebellion. Yeah, she cared for the rebellion. She was the secret spy that got everybody together, was stealing all the supplies, helping everybody out.
It was way for her to be distant. It was way for her not to care, because she had a code name and she didn't want anybody to know who she was.
She cared about the rebel crew.
She did a little bit.
She cared about Sabine.
She did a little bit.
In the novel, she cared about the miners or the farmers or whatever they were.
Yeah, she cared about the two girls that were actually boys. She cared about
that story's not even canon anymore. So I mean,
well, it is now, because she cares about girls, not boys. But yeah,
it all never happened at this point.
That's all irrelevant. Here's the drink gear. That's all about. That's the drink gear.
I feel like what we're going to see now is she's going to not just be like Anakin, which is so distant.
It's clearly
with her, and so she's now going
in her mind. She finally got her resolution from Anakin. She's been feeling guilty about. She finally got that, and that's what she can move forward.
Yeah.
So is
I
this
agree that's
what
it's supposed to look like? I agree that's what it's supposed to look like.
is this what we're is this? Can I ask you one more question? Is this what we're gonna do now with all episodes that Dave is involved with? We're gonna just have a bunch of nonsense, and then he's gonna do one episode where he throws in a bunch of nostalgic shit. He does a little bit of like callbacks to Rebels, or like he did when they did the Mandalorian, or when they did Book of Fett, they did the Mandalorian episode. He's just gonna play some great hits real quickly and then call it a day.
Well, I kind of hope he doesn't. I kind of hope that this was the nostalgia that people wanted, and then the next 3 episodes are going to be new stuff. Like they're going to be new aliens. Thrawn finally comes. I'm looking forward to that.
I think that's what it is. I think it's the turning. It's the turning of the season.
Yep.
I
hope so.
Clearly.
I hope, at least if not, then this season's going to suck.
Dude, what happens if next episode is just Hera dealing with the fucking?
It's just Captain.
You get to see Leah. You get to see.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That could be awkwardly dangerous if next season, the next episode is very little anything but.
It can't be.
I don't think
It can't be.
that.
I don't think we're going to get much hair from here on out.
No, I think we're gonna get Thrawn. Thrawn has to come now. It's 3 episodes
Thrawn
left.
doesn't have to come yet.
They have to show him, and then maybe Ezra at the end of the episode.
We don't even know how.
Before we know what's going to happen, Jedi's chomping at the bit. Jedi's chomping at the bit to give us his review and score on this. Okay. So Jedi, since you love doing this so much,
just wait.
Lead us into your notes.
Very short notes this week. I guess I'm going to give this. I feel like you have to. What my score is going to depend on which personality wants to grade it. So if I'm going to grade it on, it was really visually cool to see the Clone Wars and all that. If I want to grade it on that, then I'm going to give it. I'll give it a 9. Okay, but I'm not going to grade it on that. I'm going to grade it on how did this affect and continue the story and kind of move the story. And in that regard, I'm going to give it a 7, because as great as the whole Clone Wars stuff was, I don't feel like we needed all of that, other than for the fan service and to make people happy with Anakin, etc. And hey, we got to see the Clone Wars, we got to see young Ahsoka. All right, cool. I mean, that was great, and I understand people get really excited over that, and they say it's a 10 out of 10 because that's what they love. I am not belittling anybody's opinion based on that, but I do not. I say 7. I just don't think it was. I don't think all of that was necessary for the story. It could have all that could have been done differently. I don't believe that it's the world between worlds. Dom, stop. I don't believe that. I'm team that she got knocked on the head, and this was all kind of going on in her subconscious or unconsciousness or whatever.
Which they do all the time in Star Wars.
Yeah, and that doesn't Jason could sense that. He's force sensitive. So just because Jason could sense that doesn't mean anything was actually happening in the world between worlds. It just means he was attuned in to what Ahsoka was going through in her unconscious state. That's all it means, really, to me. The fact that Hera could do it,
I don't think
Hera could do it. No, I don't think she did.
I think she just.
Well, they kind of insinuated that Hera might be like either hearing it or maybe just believing what Jason was saying.
I think that was more of it. I think it was her daughter.
Her son's butt. She's a mother.
I think that was the first time. It might have been the first time she saw it. I took it more as this might be the first time she saw him using actual powers.
Yeah.
So
that's
what I give it a 7. Does it deserve to be released in the theaters, for God's sakes, and all the hype that was around it? No, other than it was almost an hour long. I see no reason why anything special about this, other than the visually. I guess so. So let me check that back. The visually Clone Wars Rebels thing or Clone Wars thing. Okay, yeah, all right, I'll give it that. Maybe that was really cool on a visual. Maybe that's why they released it. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it.
Cool.
And the whale thing bugged me.
All right, go ahead, Dom. You can retort because I can't wait for this to happen.
Well, listen, I'll be first to tell you 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because it actually resolved a lot of things. It moved this story really forward in Ahsoka. It opened up. It made Ahsoka the character that everybody wanted. It gave her it gave her the will to move forward, to go out there, get Ezra, to bring him back, and to this episode was like an ending, was like a season finale. If you really think about it, the way it ended, and I really
Heretic
think
Tell is right.
I really think that she, as a character, progressed to bigger things. Now she got over that feeling guilty for herself that what happened with Anakin, and now she can move forward to become the Jedi and the person that she wants to make things better and to bring Ezra home. But she doesn't realize that all this is going to be when she meets Ezra. Ezra's going to be a dark side user. I say it here now first. But anyway, but I gave it a 9 out of 10. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and I'm
Quadrupler. What am I up to now? How much have I taken from him? 20,
Listen,
30, 40?
9 out of
whatever?
10 because the Clone Wars and the Season of Mandalore was fucking awesome.
Yeah, but
I
Dom,
enjoyed that in live action.
but Dom, that doesn't saying that you like that shit is the exact reason why you can't give. This is not that story. This is a story of Ezra and Ahsoka.
I know.
And Sabine.
But
You don't, because what you just said was, oh my god, fuck it, I don't care. I'm sick. I'm really sick today. I don't have time.
I'm just saying that I enjoyed it. That I thought it was.
All right, wait, Seeker, go ahead, please, because I know you or JJ will hit the points that I was going to say.
I actually really like this episode. I'd probably give it an 8.5.
Okay, fair.
I agree with Dom that this is going to be the change in Ahsoka. I don't think it needed to be the change in Ahsoka. I think they really should have made Ahsoka the way she's going to be in episode 6 through 8 the whole time. Like, we didn't need this stoic, distant, horrible Ahsoka. But I'm glad they're at least changing it. And I think that's what's going to happen here. At least I hope that's what's going to happen here, because that if not, there was absolutely no point to this episode. So, like, if nothing changes in 6 through 8 with Ahsoka, I'll come back and I'll say this was like a 6. But I think it will change. I really do think this is where Ahsoka's going to grow and learn and be different. And I do think, like, Hayden was awesome. I loved Hayden in this episode. I loved Hera. I loved Chopper. I loved Jason. I don't need all of the flashback stuff, but at least it looked cool. But I do need to see the change in Ahsoka, and if that's what this episode gives us, then I'm happy, and I think that's what they're giving us. That's the only thing I can make sense of why they did what they did, and so for that reason, I'll give it 8.5.
Go ahead, JJ.
So, I agree with a lot of what Jedi said, and the fact that I'm with him in that, like, I think you're going to score this really highly if you really loved the nostalgia stuff, and that's what drives you to like Star Wars, which is fine. But for the purposes of the series, like Jedi said, it didn't do much for me. It really didn't. And as far as Ahsoka's personality, you can say it advanced that too, but like what Wayseeker said, I don't understand that why she was so stiff and wooden and stoic to begin with for the first 4 episodes. There's a problem in a series when your main character is the least interesting character through the first half of the series, just so you can make her more interesting on the second half of the series. It's like the Cleveland Browns in a draft.
Hey,
Like
don't pick on my Browns.
Yeah, it's like they're going to tank so they can have the first pick, right?
They're going to drop
the next year,
Denzel.
we're going to draft a really great guy, but he gets injured in like game 2, and now you're screwed for the rest of the season. That's what I'm afraid this is going to be like. I hope it's not, but it's kind of what I feel like it is.
So,
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, and I agree, everything looked cool. I enjoyed the Clone Wars stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of de-aged Anakin, but I said that last episode, so I won't harp on it too much. But it also struck me as weird that young Ahsoka and Hayden Christensen seemed to almost have better chemistry in those scenes than Rosario Dawson, Ahsoka, and Hayden Christensen in those fight scenes. So, I don't know. In the end, I would probably score it about where Jedi did, which is 7. It's to me, it's a very serviceable episode, but it just didn't do a whole lot for the story. And I don't know that you needed a whole hour of it either. And I don't know, like, if you're like a normie watching this and you didn't follow the Clone Wars and you didn't follow Rebels and all that, and you're watching this, you're probably lost as hell.
Yeah, they are.
Think,
they're pretty much they're lost. They fell asleep and they're lost. I mean,
I sent you some. Check your phone.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check my phone. Hold on. Let me just pull up another thing. Anyways, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. What'd you give it at 7? You said
7.
while I'm stopping the whole show to check messages from down. All right, so here we go. You guys hit a bunch of the points I did too. Like I thought too. One, the episode I thought was a little bit too long. I've said since the the one greatest thing about it is it's beautiful. Like the actual visually, it's appealing, right? And it really is. And they, even though they did shadowing, they did a great job. At least they didn't use dark shadowing, which I hate when they use dark shadowing. You know that I hate that, but they didn't. They used regular shadowing in it. It was really good. The problem that I have with it is one, like it didn't move along enough of the story. Like it just, I feel like how much the story moved along. It introduced normies that at least Hera's kid is a force sensitive kid, and that moved along a little bit. And Ahsoka's going to go find Sabine, but we knew that was going to happen the minute they cut the thing when Sabine took off, right? So, like, where did we really go with this episode? Does it get nostalgia points? Sure. But even those nostalgia points, I will say that the one I liked was the second fight, up to the point where they get on the bridge and it looks like an old lady doing the two-step. The first one, they screwed up the graphics. They should have made it a little bit better because it did look like Anakin's head was disconnected. The talking to the whales made very little fucking sense. I know you guys are saying here comes the different Ahsoka. My problem isn't Ahsoka. My problem is how Ahsoka's been portrayed by the actor. I don't think, and that's why I kept showing those smiling eulogy scenes where she's like just an empathy, like that's gonna be the new gimmick. Like they had a cross arm gimmick. Now they have I'm wearing half a rug on me, covering up my boobies and showing everything else, and I'm just gonna be smiling all the time, right? That doesn't help me with it. Go ahead, but I mean, that's not gonna make her faster, have better lightsaber right. Fighting scenes. None of that stuff got fixed here. They're not fixing any of those things. Her acting's not going to get any better. The way she delivers her lines was, "I'm going to talk to the whales." How's that different from Sabine? I was your master. I mean, there's nothing there, right? Like there's no change. There's no magic switch that got turned on here, unfortunately. But there's some parts that I really enjoyed. I mean, I brilliantly enjoyed the way that it looked. I haven't given this anything under, I think a 7.5 or 8 so far. But yeah, this one I'm with your guys. I'm kind of in that 7.5 range because like it was too long. It 100% didn't make sense that they had it theaters. I think the hype got some people going. And I understand the people that were like, well, the first movies I ever saw was the prequels in the theater. So this is the best thing I've ever seen before. Cool, man. I understand that. I understand how nostalgia hit people, but like I have Disney Plus. I can watch the shit if I want to watch it. That gives me the nostalgia. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, like, I think half the chat or whatever is kind of in the same boat. It's like, okay, yeah, his computer's bad. I think a lot of the chat is kind of in the same boat where they're like, hey, dude, you either get two sides of it. You get either I'm all in, like I gotta go all in, and that's it, or I'm not all in, and I'm kind of. What was it? Somebody made a comment in here. You're this is either a 10 for you, or you're kind of like, yeah, it was good. And I think that's where it is. Like for me, it was like, yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't hard to figure out what they're gonna do. But yeah, I wish at this point we would have already been further down. I hope next episode, instead of doing what I think they're gonna do, and the only reason they brought up like that whole Hera, we're gonna stop you and demote you thing was ridiculous. I mean, I don't see a point in it, really. You know what I mean? I didn't see a point in it. I thought it was kind of a waste.
Well, I thought, like, why does this fleet have like nothing like to defend? Like,
yeah, nothing more important to do
after one general that you think is rogue with one ship. Like,
hey, can I say
why
something?
do you need a whole fleet?
Everybody gave their review. Do you think this is the best Star Wars we've seen in a while?
No, Andor is way better than this. Andor start to finish was better than this.
I know, but this is the Star Wars. This is the Star Wars that everybody wanted.
Nope.
No.
You don't think
Andor once again was.
Some people.
I'm talking about Star Wars with Jedi.
Wanted it.
Not just plain. Not Andor. Andor was fantastic in its own right. I'm talking about Jedi battles and stuff like that, and the Force. Do you think this is the best Star Wars that we've gotten?
Well, now you're moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
I mean, don't even know. Maybe
This is it. This isn't the best. This is the best lightsaber battle.
Mandalorian has no force, so you're basically comparing it to like basically
Obi-Wan?
more or less, with the exception of Grogu, you're comparing it to
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, and that's it.
That's it. It's better than Obi-Wan. That's it. Yeah.
Well, we had lightsaber battles in Figure Mandalorian too.
Yeah, not really.
Not really, Dom.
Luke.
Yeah, I mean, there were parts of Obi-Wan that were pretty good.
So I'm just saying the fact is that this look,
Ahsoka's had subpar right.
a lot of this is this going to be the best that they can do for TV and best that they can make series wise? Because look, no matter what, there's going to be
it's not because we saw here. It's not because we've seen stuff that they've done very well. That scene once again with Jason, I thought was done very well. The Andor done very well. We know they can do good stuff. They've proven it they can. Probably have like the fighting scene when it was small Ahsoka moved like Ahsoka. Unfortunately, Dawson, God bless her, we're all older too. I understand it. Doesn't move like Ahsoka, and that's a very bad sticking point.
You know what it reminds me of is Cowboy Bebop.
But let me ask you a question.
Actor that's almost like
you want her to move like Ahsoka. You're talking about a cartoon. Because that's
I just want her to actually move like she's not a geriatric patient doing a two-step. That's what, and what I mean that I'm talking about an old person, old senior citizen, over boomer, older than Jedi, older than Styx, trying to do a fucking the Cuban shuffle. That's all I want. Because the only fucking move she has right now is this move with her lightsaber every time. Now, the rest of it's bad, Dom. And they use all that. Hold on, Dom. They use all that CGI. They can make it where they're using stunt doubles that move better. We don't have to see her face. It was the one mistake when they first brought her out. If you remember, my biggest criticism when they brought her out in Mandalorian is, wow, she's really moving slow. You should use more stunt doubles and have her actually make some type of motion. She uses none. She stood for the second time in one season on a boat just fucking standing there. She did it when they did that stupid cartwheel bullshit in space, and now she's doing it to supposedly talk to whales, but we don't know because she could talk to whales, but apparently not fucking understand what the hell they were saying. So, I don't know, dude. No, Dom. No, I guess is my answer to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope it's not the best they can do because you always want them to do better. You don't want them to say this is the best and it'll never get better than this. I mean,
yeah, because I think
you want better. It's obviously not perfect. It has definite flaws. So
I do think like we're giving it a little bit higher grade because we're wanting something to be good so bad that we're like, okay, this isn't fucking. At least this isn't Obi-Wan. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's not like a Book of Boba Fett for me where I was like literally raging with hate that it was bad. Sometimes like it's not that bad. It's an above average series. It's a pretty good series at times. And like Marco said, it can be a great series at times when they played out right.
Well, we're gonna have to see how Ezra uses the lightsaber, how he battles, how that works out.
I don't think you'll even see it.
Not
well, but Dom, we already saw
like 20-some years.
Young Ahsoka, by the way.
5 or whatever.
Young Ahsoka. I mean, JJ's right. They didn't age her up in that second one, which they should have. But fucking Young Ahsoka had a lot of. That's what I'm saying. Like her moves were. It looked like she'd been training to do that the whole time. So wait, how could she get it right? Because that's a cartoon movement. But we can't get the main character playing it to get the fucking moves right.
Speaking of lightsaber battles too, did you notice the fact
maybe
that
she was meant to do that?
She started off using the one saber.
Yeah.
And in order to beat him, she had to switch to 2.
Yeah. Well, then she lost both her sabers. Yeah.
She lost both of them, but I mean, she's switching between her. Like, it makes no sense of why she would switch lightsaber styles.
I agree. Unless it's a dream where it doesn't matter. That's the other thing that to me makes it seem like it's a dream. Because she didn't have any lightsabers in the world between worlds where she was, because they both have been gone. But Dom doesn't care about those things, as you know, whatever.
T. Jones.
No, so here's my question for you, Marco.
Hold on, can I do this real quickly? Because T. Jones makes up a good point, and this is it. I think maybe my standard for this, like Dom's standard for Boba Fett was a little bit higher. I think maybe because, I mean, dude, I love Rebels. Like, I love Clone Wars and I love Rebels. I think they're two awesome pieces. So yeah, I think my standard for this would probably be a little bit better. So I'm trying to grade it higher to not demote my bias towards what I actually think, I guess.
And it's kind of crazy too when you think about it. The way Rebels started, at least from a fandom perspective, versus the way it ended. I mean, when it ended, a lot of people loved Rebels, and it was great and it was well deserved. But like at the beginning, I don't know if anybody remembers that there was a lot of hate at Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I remember
what the
watching
hell is
Rebels.
this shit? You guys canceled Clone Wars and you put this crap on.
No, and you know what my
blah,
response
blah.
then was? You guys all hated Clone Wars too in the first couple, because the same thing with Clone Wars. They hated it when it first came out
First
too.
two
So.
seasons they hated, and then the third season on, everybody loved it.
I loved Rebels from the first season.
So did I.
remember that very strongly.
Yeah,
But-
I didn't have a problem with it. I'm just saying that was there.
No,
Especially
you're
with
right.
the
There was a big talking percentage that hated it when it first came out. Yes, you're right. Go ahead, Lisa.
If Filoni would have came out, which I think he should have done, and said, as a prerequisite for watching Ahsoka, you need to watch all of Clone Wars and all of Rebels. Would that have changed your opinion on the show? Because that's what he should have done, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say. I'm not one of them because I've obviously watched all those, but like, it's hard for me to say where they land. But I would think that if you haven't watched all that, or at least a significant portion of it, or like the certain episodes like we recommended or something, you got to be totally lost in this thing.
They are. Even people.
you
I know
may be
people.
enjoying it for the nostalgia aspect of seeing, Hayden Christensen again and all that, which is fine. But like, from the perspective of the story coming together as like a cohesive thing, you gotta be like they probably don't know the difference between World Between Worlds and Dream World or whatever the hell was going on. They probably just think it's Dream World. I would imagine.
I know a couple people. I mean, I know a couple people who have watched it. They probably haven't watched. They probably haven't watched it as many times as we have, but whatever. And like, yeah, dude, like, okay. So, but they are a little bit lost. They're like, wait, what? And then you explain it to them. They're like, oh, okay. But it doesn't really make any sense. No. Whatever.
What do you guys think about next week?
Like I said, they better not be a hair-centric episode, or I think people are going to lose. I mean, we got to have, I was hoping to have Thrawn in episode 6. What, we got 8 episodes, right?
Yeah.
I still think we're going to get it there.
They got to bring it back right to seeing Balin and Elsbeth and shit, because we got none of that this episode. And they've been almost the most interesting characters of the series. We all agree. So, I
think it's going to be both. I think it's going to be Balin and all of them looking for Thrawn, and it's going to be Hera looking for Thrawn. And Ahsoka looking for Thrawn. And I think that's going to be the main part of the show. I think it will be kind of a filler episode in that regard. We'll see if I'm right or wrong, but
they better not.
Just because they get to this new galaxy doesn't mean they're going to find Thrawn right away. That would make no sense.
I hope they run into some alien creatures that we've never seen before. I hope something brand new caught that.
Dominus aliens.
I just hope it's not like, something really stupid that we run into in the new galaxy.
I mean, do you think it's going to be the Gris or it's either going to be? I mean, do you think like either a Gris or a form of what's their name from Invasions? Like that's what they're going to run into, because the odds of them just getting dropped off someplace and running into that's pretty high. I mean, if that's what's going on out there, the only other option they have is that Thrawn's got some magnificent like 100-person fleet out there, just waiting for anything that drops into not wild space now. Sorry, different galaxies, Earth galaxy or whatever the fuck they're called, the Milky Way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we'll do with that.
See him at the end of the episode roll up with a Chiss fleet.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying there's a high likelihood that they're going to get caught up.
Cocaine.
The whales are going to drop Ahsoka off, and there's going to be some other enemy out there, and the Chiss fleet is going to come straight rolling in, and Ezra's going to be there on the Chiss fleet.
Cocaine.
I would like that, but I don't think so. There's going to be no Chiss there. I don't think there'll be any other Chiss there.
Well, I mean, whatever Thrawn's fleet's going to be. We think Thrawn has a fleet, right?
No, not there. I don't think anybody personally, I don't think he's in a completely different galaxy. That's how I'm taking it. So nobody from the Chiss are there. That's how I would understand it. We'll see
you think he's wrong. Floating around in a broken ass ship.
I don't know where he is, but who knows? Well, I hope Timothy Zahn makes sense of whatever crazy.
We eventually see him on the bridge of the ship that Balin and them took off. So.
The ISI.
I think Filoni doesn't care the way Zahn writes it, so he's gonna.
A quick question.
He wants to make it a separate galaxy with the Chiss in it, he'll do it.
A quick question. They retconned the end of Rebels with Ahsoka the White.
No, they did.
She can have more than one white outfit, Dom.
I know. No, because Ahsoka White, that was when she came back because then they redid it with her in the gray robes. And that was done. Now they
we didn't redo it. We already said that it was not the same scene.
Yes, it was the same scene.
It wasn't the same scene. We talked about this before.
Robes. Go back.
It wasn't the same scene.
Yes, it was the same scene.
No.
Yes,
Dom,
it
we already
was.
covered this. We all
Yes, it was.
agreed,
It was
except
the
for
same
you.
scene.
It wasn't the same scene.
She had the
They
white
didn't
robe in the
retcon
cartoon.
anything.
They retconned it to this white robe now. It was a gray robe. It's the same scene, dude.
And you're still mad about the eyes. I know. I get it. You're still mad about
And remember the time that the Inquisitor was actually Starkiller?
Marco.
That's
Marco.
something else they haven't explained.
Marco,
How the
listen.
hell that would happen?
Yeah, still
You
listening.
know what?
I listen to everything you say. That's the problem, Dom. I listen to everything you say.
let me
I
tell
don't
you.
forget it.
Look, I'm telling you, that scene was redone with her with the gray robes. It was redone.
Well, then how
And
did
now
they-
she's
wait,
got
how
the
did they
white
meet up
robes.
the first
So the
time?
white robes don't count in Rebels.
How did they meet up the first time?
Well,
'Cause
they
they
met up.
clearly met up before that.
No, they didn't. They're not doing the same scene. She didn't meet up the first time. What they were doing, they were
They
freaking
had
training.
to.
They went to Padawan.
Like the end of Rebels was the first time she seen her. She was in white robes. They were
I
going
know.
to find Ezra from there. So they redid it with the gray robes.
They-
I'm telling
But
you.
when they met the first time,
Nope.
that was
The
when
first
she
time.
said, "Let's go," and they became her Padawan, right?
No. That was
Well, so
different.
when did they meet between that?
They
I
had
agree.
some. She walked away. When she came back, that's when she had the white robes.
I'm gonna leave that up
All right.
longer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really sick. I don't have the energy to argue with Dom on some nonsense about that's
It's not
right.
nonsense. Look it up.
It is, Dom. It is
It
nonsense.
is.
No, it's not.
nonsense.
You
Complete
loving
nonsense.
nibs and nubs, whatever the friggin' thing is, that's nonsense.
I agree on that too.
Well,
That
actually, Wayseeker being a Browns fan is the most.
That's
nonsense of
nonsense.
all. There we go.
We're going 2-0 after tomorrow night.
Yeah.
what does he watch? He watches Screen Crush.
No, like, oh boy.
More Skywalkers in the new galaxy. We don't need any more.
You
Skywalkers.
can't help where you're born. And if you're born in Ohio, you're Northeast Ohio, you're a Browns fan.
That
Just how it
sucks.
works.
That really
At
sucks.
least be a Bengals fan.
That's
Cowboys 2-0,
you can't
baby.
be a Bengals fan in Northeast Ohio.
They beat
I mean, just like
the
you know,
New
Marco tried to
York
be a
teams.
Lions fan. He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't
That
want to
was
be a Lions fan.
that was a
He
rough
doesn't have
game.
a choice.
That was a fucking rough game today, bro. Ooh, that was a rough game.
Yeah,
That fucking was a rough game,
I took
dude.
Detroit and I
Fuck.
lost the pool because of that.
What's that?
I lost the pool on Detroit.
Don't ever bet on the fucking Lions. Dude.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
No,
you
I
don't ever
didn't bet them
on
last time. They beat freaking they
Yeah,
they won the win.
I'll tell you, don't ever bet on the Lions. That's one thing I know. All right, we got one more seg.
All right. We're going to be reviewing the first 5 stories from
Thank God, High Republic's back.
Tales of Blood. This book was a High Republic book that spans all 3 phases. You go back to starts with phase 2, which is in the past, and then you get stories from phase 1, and then you get stuff that's post phase 1. Not quite to phase 3, but right up to like a few days before where they're going to pick up with phase 3. So we're going to be reviewing tonight the first 5 stories. Next week we'll review the next some of the next 5 stories. I asked Jedi to look at 3 of them, but we'll go over all 5 briefly. But we will spend more time on 3. So we're looking tonight at the phase 2 stories, and then right up to Starlight story, and then right after Starlight will be where we're at. So that's kind of where we're at. And I
Are you
haven't
and I
read
the only
the other
ones
one yet.
that did this?
What?
Are you and I the only one that
Marco?
No,
listen,
I did. I listened to it while I was driving back from Baltimore.
Okay.
JJ picked it up. I don't know if he's read any of them.
By the way, if you want to know what I do in Baltimore, go back, watch SNS last night. Hold on. If you want to know how I act in Baltimore, go back, watch SNS last night. Tony recaps me in Baltimore. Feel free to do that. And yeah, no, I listened to this on the way home. Dude.
Yep.
JJ hooked me up.
And JJ, if JJ has the books, I'm hoping JJ at least next week can read Rogue Element, because I think he's the only one that has the Barnes and Noble's book. So we'll look at that story. But Jedi doesn't have access to that, and Marco doesn't have access to that one, I don't believe. So, yeah. All right. So we're gonna go through the first 2 stories super quick because I didn't tell Jedi to look at it. Marco can add anything in here. Queen.
I actually listened to part of this one because it was confusing trying to find the right one. So go ahead.
This was, I think, the most pointless of stories that we had so far in the book. Maybe I thought this was it's all about Axel and how Axel first meets the mother. And it's also about how Axel learns that he can, fake his own sickness because that's what he does in one of the other books, where he pretends like he's sick, and Gala goes for it, and that's how he escapes from prison. So it's how he learns how he can fake his sickness. He does that one day, and he goes out and he goes and parties, runs into the party where his mom's at, because she gets to the planet a day earlier than he thought it was going to be, and so to hide from his mother, because can't have him thinking that everybody thinks he's sick. He can't run into his mom.
Well, he's also got the hots for some girl.
Yeah, he has the hots for some girl. He goes in the kitchen, and where to the kitchen, he gets, he meets the mother, and the mother makes him like steal from other people.
Are you sure you didn't review Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much.
And so the mother's gonna kill him, and then doesn't kill him, and calls him chaos and says, "I got future plans for you." And that's the whole story. Pointless, whatever. Didn't need this story, but hey, whatever.
It was pointless. It was done well, though. It was actually written pretty well. I'll give it that. It was a pointless story, but written well.
I mean, did they rack up miles on the land speeder and have to turn the odometer back?
No, they didn't. No, they kind of did, but no, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
I think all these stories, save one, is kind of pointless. But
I actually like this book a lot because I don't mind the pointless stories. I like how they fill in, and it gives me pushes me back into the High Republic spirit and reintroduces these characters. I just didn't need this character to be reintroduced, and so that's why I didn't care about this one personally. Axel is one of my least favorite of those. And we know the mother's dead, so didn't really care about that one either.
But wasn't that written by Teresa or whatever her name is? It was. I gotta say,
Zoraida. Yeah, you like Zoraida Cordova.
Yeah, I mean the writing skill level was. I mean the story was, whatever, pointless, but the actual writing skill level was good.
Real quick, how's the audiobook?
Yeah, it's good. It was good.
It's good.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
Shield of the Jedi was Man, who we know Marco loves. George Mann just wants to be George Mann's best friend. Ireland and Man are his two favorite people.
Dude, I mean, if he said sword and shield one more fucking time, everybody loves swords and shields. It's like everybody. If you have a shield, oh my gosh, and then if you have a sword, whoa boy.
Didn't he write a medieval Star Wars tale for another anthology?
Yeah, Obi-Wan. It was an Obi-Wan story where they didn't call it Obi-Wan, and he was looking through the bones of the Krayt Dragon.
He was one of the Knights of the Round Table or something.
Yeah, it was really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it was during the pandemic.
This was actually one of his better stories, I thought. But the story again was pointless. It's all about the story is about Rupert's trial to become a Jedi. So every Padawan has to go through the trial. So in the trial, Salandra Show Master hides her shield, and Rupert has to go find the shield. Salandra hides the shield in a lair of a monster because Man has to have a monster and everything. Basically, we learned the only interesting thing about the story is we learned that this shield gets passed down from generation to generation from Jedi. And so every first Padawan that the person with the shield has gets the shield. So this thing has been around for centuries. So I expect that we're going to see the shield in Star Wars Hyperspace Stories 2.0 and a new Jedi going to have the shield, and we're going to be introduced.
The point is too, he said that the Jedi tests don't mean shit, and all that matters is that you get a shield handed down to you too in this book, which was kind of stupid.
This was about the shield and how the shield is going to be showing up again in Star Wars Legacy somewhere down the line. So
yeah, awesome.
Yay.
Yep.
That was the point of this one.
It was. She's right.
I look forward to the golden lasso and other objects coming.
Yep, we're gonna get them all.
God damn, man's so bad at this.
All right. The closed fist has no claws. This is the one where Jedi can hop in here, and so can Marco. I don't need to do the whole review.
Yeah, go ahead, Jedi.
What?
What do we have? What's the story about?
Start.
This is
is basically the. Oh, well.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, basically, this picks up. This is the continuing.
When they're on the Gates Electric
with the story of Marta.
Yep, yeah. Marta.
And she's traveling in the Gaze Electric or whatever, and She's got the
The hand, all the people. Yeah. So she's got
she's got some of the followers with her, and I'm trying to think of the name of the damn beast that I can't think of for some
The
reason.
leveler.
The leveler.
Yeah,
She's got the leveler down in the basement or whatever, and she's feeding it Jedi that she comes across, which was kind of surprising to hear that piece of it, that she is actually, because at the end of phase 2, you kind of felt like Marta was on a path of peace and just kind of wanted to live her life and not be part of any big picture things anymore. But then in this little story, you find out, no, she's got the leveler, and not only does she have it, that she's actually going out and bopping Jedi over the head and dragging them down into the basement of the ship. So
she's slicing their necks too. No, she's slicing their neck, like she's fucking just like slicing their necks.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was being simple when I said bop them on the head. Yeah, she's fucking them up and then taking them down so the leveler can feed on them. So that was a little surprising. And then she's also in a search for her own people. Help me out here with the name of the people. Everini. She's on a search for them. So she kind of considers herself a hunter, I guess, of the Everini.
I thought that was really cool. I thought how quickly they explained that this story, if you're a fan of the Roe storyline, like Marshawn Roe and all of it, you gotta read this, like, because they explain
one story that I think we needed to know.
Yeah, out of these 3, this was the one that, the first 2, they were okay. The one writing, you saw that the writer was good on the first one. The second one, that's fucking worthless. It's tits on a bowl. This one, this one was like, there's a lot of meat. Like this one, I was like, oh shit, I don't want this to be a short story. I want it to keep going. At one point, spoiler alert, fuck it, but that's what we do. She runs into somebody who's like just an older member. She finds him randomly in a bar, and they use terms like uncle and stuff like that. He kind of explains how it works, what planet she's from,
her what their name means in their language, because she doesn't even know what her name means in her Everini language. So, interesting that their name means caretaker, which she thought was it caretaker, right? So, which she thought was interesting because she didn't feel like her name means caregiver. I don't know. I may have it backwards, but whatever it was, she felt like it was
taker.
Backwards.
It was taker.
You know about taking.
Yeah.
Taking of the care.
Yeah,
taking
it was all
of the
about
care.
taking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas we think of caretaker as someone who might take care of something, it was caretaker as in they pretty much ravage and take whatever they want. And right?
Yep. You're right. Yeah.
And then obviously as the story progresses, she comes across a couple, a brother and sister Everini, that she invites on board, and they're cocky as fuck. They're very cocky, and they basically look at humans as pets because they refer to a lot of her crew as her pet because she's like evidently some higher being or whatever. Some shit goes down, and I might have kind of been like, my mind might have been wandering a little bit, but something goes down between the Everini visitor, the sister, the female. She gets, for whatever reason, kills like her right hand, who's a human, her right hand person or confidant or friend or whatever. So Marta kills the sister, and then basically invites the brother to be what I interpreted as her partner, her partner, her lover, her companion. And basically what this story, aside from, the leveler or whatever, and we're going to see whatever comes of that, because obviously eventually we're going to get introduced, and we got introduced to the leveler in phase 1. But we also kind of see this as if you're doing a family tree of Marshawn, this is kind of maybe the genesis of that family tree, or at least maybe as far as we're going to know anyway.
Yeah. Also, too, didn't you feel like it was inferring that the stopping point of this, like her end goal, is to take the Grand Leveler and put it in the ice, right?
Oh yeah, no. Remember, if you go back to that story, there were a ton of Everini on that planet because like Martian runs into like his cousin.
Yeah.
So like I think she's going to be bringing as many Everini as she can and like take them to that planet, and that's going to be their home planet, and that's where the leveler's going to be on the ice for whatever reason. I don't know why they're going to put them on the ice. Maybe to save them because they don't have enough Jedi to feed him.
Well, no, she was saying that it's a weapon that needs to kind of. She doesn't like it dehydrate. She wants to keep it in state. She almost said she wants to keep it in stasis, and then if they ever need to use it, they can fucking use it when they need it. Kind of like just a big nuclear weapon.
Because it
also
made it seem like also in the story, like it was skinny, like it was not getting enough food that it wanted. So yeah, she was killing Jedi to feed it, but she wasn't killing enough Jedi as fast as the leveler needed to survive.
Did you? Okay, so this is the question that I have because I actually have a different take on what Jedi said there. Because didn't the sister say you'd be a good match for my brother, and then after that, it seemed like she killed the sister to get her, even though she killed the assistant, she killed the sister to get her out of the way so that her and the brother could boink.
No, I don't think so. I go with more Jedi. I think she got pissed. She was just pissed that like she was going to kill her assistant. She's like, that was my person to kill. When the time came, I was killing her. You don't have that right. And so, yeah.
Oh, see, I thought it was all just a general excuse to get her out of the way because I think maybe they were doing something.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she was really
down south. Down.
Yeah.
Right.
She's got that Martian in her where, like, if anybody does anything to go against them, they're dead.
Oh, and she's actually hunting. She's still hunting her cousin, too, because there's one part of the story where she thought she had a lead on some Everini, one-handed Everini, and she's like, well, that's got to be, what's her name?
Yana.
Yeah.
Yana, yeah. But so we still, I don't know, maybe we'll get a story with Yana. I don't know if we've seen the end of the Marta Row stories. At least maybe we'll get more short stories because that's still kind of a loose end, right? I mean, seems like.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some more Everini stories. I don't know if it's going to be after phase 3, whatever. But I mean, it's clear like they've set up enough, crumbs along the way that they have a story that they do want to tell at some point with connecting Marta to Martian.
But you think it's related to the fact that Martian doesn't want any of his family around? Doesn't he basically kill any of his family? Like, didn't he kill his cousin and stuff?
He killed his cousin, yeah.
But I mean, that kind of shows you here too. Like they all kind of piss each other off and get in fights. It's kind of like leader of the pack mentality type shit.
But the other
they destroyed their own their hatred or their greed or their hatred of each other or whatever. I mean, destroyed their own planet, right? So they're not necessarily a peaceful.
Yeah,
it's a very like, oh, you said something wrong, I'm gonna kill you now. Like, and like if you remember in that book, he was pissed because the cousin or aunt that led him to the ice had like said something to him, pretty much, like, oh well, I blah 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 blah, and he's like, oh
yeah, it was something about his background. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, and then he's like, fuck it, you're dead now. So, yeah.
The other possibility, which is still something I've said before, is Marta's not dead, and Marta's the big bad of phase 3, and so we'll get that story of Marta's and Martian's connection in phase 3.
Yeah,
we'll see if that one's right. I know Marco doesn't like that theory because Marco wants Martian to be the big bad, but Marta's
I think Martian's setting up to be. I mean, he seems like a good big bad. Why diminish him? If you want to get an underboss, I guess fine, but I don't know. I think that'd be good.
Can't wait to see what story you're doing next. Yes. Okay. 100%. Before we get into this, 100% Wayseeker chose this story to troll Marco. 100%. Right?
Why? Why do you
hold on, Jedi? Do you think I thought this story was bad?
This story was pointless. The whole thing. As I was listening to this, I'm like, because they kept talking about baking and all this, and I kept thinking back to that one comic book about the Great Bake Off and how Marco hated that fucking thing. And I'm like, this is the only reason Wayseeker chose this story.
No, this is the number 4. It was number 4 in line
into this.
No, it's because I picked the first 5, and I picked stuff from phase 1 because phase 1 is more interesting to Marco.
Wait, hold on. Was this the 4th in line? So is this
it's 4th in line.
Yeah. No, this is the one that's got some of my favorite characters. Like, it's got
the whole story's about 2 people planning a surprise party. What the whole?
Oh shit!
Is this the right?
No,
is this the right story?
Isn't this the Matthew McConaughey one?
No, that's next.
Oh,
No, that's not-
damn. Okay, yeah, this story sucks. I want the Matthew McConaughey one.
I actually like this story, but yeah, it was pointless. It was pointless. Absolutely right. It's about Zine and Ram, who
Yeah.
Wait,
Again.
who writes this one?
He
who
invented the
wrote this
word
one?
wizard. Let's give him his credit. He invented the
Daniel
word
He
Jose
does
wizard.
say
Older.
wizard in this, by the way. He says fucking wizard in this.
Older wrote this one.
Older. Okay.
To me, like this also gave me confirmation in the story that Lula's dead. Like,
Yeah.
And the way of selling going forward is this is the team. It's not going to be Zine and Lula. It is now going to be Zine and Ram.
Yeah, it's gonna be Xena Ram.
And so, if you're looking forward to that combination, you're going to be seeing this combination
Is he
a lot.
actually
in
a
phase 3.
Jedi though?
What?
He's not actually a Jedi though, right?
He's Padawan. He was the one that had the
Yeah.
Hornbacks.
Zine.
What?
They're
No,
both,
no. She's like they
Oh.
picked her up and she's just got force powers. Remember, she was
Yeah,
part
Yeah,
of the.
she dropped out of. I don't know if she dropped out or if she was ever even in the running to be a
She was never
Padawan.
in the
She
running.
wasn't because she's
Force
part of
sensitive.
she's part of the hand.
Yeah.
These people, whatever.
The Path. Yeah. The
Path,
other
yeah.
group of the Path. The one
Yeah.
that they didn't get along with Marjan.
No,
Yeah.
I mean I guess the thing I took away is I don't mind the team up of these two characters.
Yep.
Yeah, the rest of it was a bunch of nonsense.
It was just a story about their friendship and why they became friends, and they both had they missed their home, and they were able to connect with each other because they missed their home.
I will say this though, the way they pace these stories, this story kind of just didn't seem as bad because I listened to this one after I listened to the Row one, and then I preceded this one with the next story, which I enjoyed, which also had characters that I like. So
Yeah.
because those like they give you this throwaway story like this shit, like the Shield is a throwaway story, then they give you something that actually is going to make a difference in the next phase with where Row is at this time, where the Grand Leveler is at this time. A lot of detail, a lot of intricate details about the like development of the storylines, and then they give you a throwaway story to kind of just like let your brain refresh for a little bit, and then the next storyline, it's pretty intense too. It like gets into a lot of action, a lot of movement, and really fast pace in a short amount of period of time. So, I mean,
Wasik, you think this story is important because it tells us that these are going to be the dynamic duo that we're going to see going forward in the High Republic adventures or whatever? Or what?
In the older
is.
story, yeah,
the older storyline,
Adventures.
Adventures, the one that Dark Horse. This is.
Yeah, and I think Sav's going to play a point now because like they clearly have a crush on Sav. Like one of the stupid parts of the story, but I think it was more of the interesting. It was Court, right? Court was able to like do perfect. Voice recommend or however you would say that he can mimic anybody's voice.
Anybody's voice, yeah, it's weird.
Perfectly, and so you got to see him do about 5 or 6 different impersonations, and the one that he wasn't able to do was Sav because they both had Sav. And like, no, we got to do that one for later because we have a crush on Sav, So I think Sav's going to come into the story a lot more and be kind of like their mentor going forward because I think their mentor at this time is Buckets of Blood, and I don't think Buckets of Blood made it out.
I don't think he did either.
So I think Sav's probably going to be the one that takes them under her wings. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about that. But that's kind of what I picked up on the story is she's going to be the new mentor. Well, and giving Older's love of Sav, that kind of makes sense to me. So,
all right. Hacksaw Jim Duggan got out of the hospital. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but again, this one was not as important of a story, but I found it fun.
I think it was kind of a palate
the next one is the next one is this is the last one we're looking at today.
Yeah, awesome.
After the fall, this is the one I think Marco looks forward to because he loves Matthew McConaughey.
I kind of like the way they drew. What's her name?
Affy.
Yeah.
Affy.
Yeah. That's Affy and Geode and
I kind of look like that dude most times when I'm out partying.
This is the in between one, right? Or one of the in between ones.
What do you mean?
So this takes place in the day after the fall, in the week after the fall, and the month after the fall, on Aram, the planet that Starlight Beacon crashed into. So it's right after the novel there. If you remember in the novel, they get off of Starlight Beacon, and everybody thought maybe McConaughey died and didn't. Then he found out that he had could parachute or whatever he did to save his life, and they pick him up. So it's they're on the planet that has been completely gone through just a massive disaster when Starlight fell into the sea, created a huge wave and tidal cove, and just like demolished the nearby city on Iram. So, Mark, you want to take over for this one?
So like they deal with some of the people. I mean, just like anything you think, like there's a supply shortage, there's all different problems. They get to put up an option where they isn't it a raffle or something? I can't remember how it is. You can apply to get out first, and of course people are having problems, and then they obviously come together and it works out. Well, they have also people fixing stuff. It's just one of those. The part that I liked about the story is like it was very realistic. Like if you're stuck weeks and then months, and then there's the raffle thing, and then people are getting anxious about it, and they're having all these types of problems, and you just get to see everybody form out a little better. They even make a quick reference to how Geode, at one point, the wife, that weird story where the wife and the husband, and the husband was mad because Geode was flirting with his wife somehow or whatever. They even make reference in that. So it was a lot. If you follow these characters, there's a lot of little small, I guess, Easter eggs in the story.
Because we were thinking Geode was a player, but he's just a flirt.
He's just
they said he never goes through and actually does the deed. He just like flirts a lot.
Did that disappoint you, Jedi? Did you want him to be the player?
It did disappoint me a little bit. Yeah,
I'm actually kind of happy it wasn't. That was weird. That was too weird. So they referenced that a little bit too. I mean, these characters I find entertaining. It didn't let me down. Matthew McConaughey still all right. Still rocking and rolling at it. Affy's matured and doesn't seem as whiny as she did before. There is some backlash still because of her mother. There's definitely a group out there that wants her pretty much dead, right? They think she's a snitch. They're not happy that
she is a snitch. There's no thinking.
Oh yeah. You're right. She put her mom away. Yeah, she is a snitch.
So real quick before you get to I think where the story ends up. So there's the one, and Marco listened to it, right? You listened to it where his Wayseeker. So there's not unless I'm completely off. If I am, then this means nothing. But Boryaga was on the Starlight ship when it went down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no mention of him in here, but when they find the survivor, and there's actually a big little part of the story, not big, but there's a part of the story where the survivor is coming out of the water. I was thinking maybe it's going to be, what's his name? The guy.
Boryaga. Yeah.
No, not Boryaga. I was thinking it was going to be the Jedi that steered the ship down, sacrificed.
Geo.
Oh, Geo.
No.
Geo Sterling.
Yes, right.
Geo Sterling.
Yeah, Stellan Geos.
Stalin, yeah. But it turned out it wasn't, but it was somebody else that I don't care about. But there was when everybody was raising their voices, yay, there was a Wookiee growl in the crowd it was a very distinctive roar. So
there was.
Even though there was no Boryaga mentioned, I'm like, was that Boryaga? that was growling? Or it could have been any Wookiee. Who the fuck knows? But
yeah,
I did make note of that in the audiobook.
I mean, they're bringing back Boryaga.
We already
we know that already.
We already revealed that Boryaga was this art, people are making fun of it. This art came from the High Republic TV show, or that
they do a little thing on the.
They do all those little drawings. So this one came directly from that YouTube show or whatever. You did get some mention here about things that are going to be important as well with like the Nihil blockade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Nihil blockade.
Where there's certain space that you just can't go into. If you go in with hyperspace, they're going to go destroy you. And they said something pretty interesting in here. They call it the Nihil Storm Wall, no-fly zone. They say it's the biggest, border since the ancient Sith Wars. And so
yeah, they did say that. You're right. They talked about the ancient Sith Wars.
So you got a little bit on the ancient Sith Wars for people that like the mythology and all that Old Republic stuff. There was a little mention of the ancient Sith Wars.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of little stuff packed into this, which I think, likable characters and then adding it on was really kind of cool. So,
and so basically at the end,
somebody farted the recording and it's Wookiee now.
I've never heard a Wookiee fart. It could have been a Wookiee fart. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
No, it was
basically in the end. Affy decided that she's going to go. Her mom was in charge of the Bind Guild, and that was the guild where it brought all these different people together to give them different jobs. But unfortunately, it was using slavery,
Pretty much
and
enslaving
all
them,
this
yeah.
other shady stuff to like make a lot of money, and that's why she turned them in. And so the Bond Guild is the one that's really, pissed at her, as Marco was saying, for snitching on it, because now that everybody's on a loan and they're actually doing worse and they have no contracts. And so she's going to go and she's going to bring that guild back together so that everybody feels like they have a family. At least
She's gonna form a little resistance party. That's what she's
but she's going to do it specifically to help the Jedi get information about the Nihil. So she's going to be working with the Republic and with the Jedi and using all these people that were smugglers to get into the Nihil blockade.
Yeah, she's setting up
Rogue
like a
Squadron.
network of informants or something, right?
Yeah. So we're going to see more of that, I'm sure, in phase.
I mean, come on, dude. Geode and Matthew McConaughey as spies. Like, I'm down.
Matthew McConaughey wasn't really on board with it, though, right? Because wasn't there something about there's no guild, there's no structure, but there's all this work to be done. We could just be doing all these little onesie-twosie jobs and making some dough. But she's more, she's got like this mission focus, right?
Yeah,
he's looking out for himself. Yeah.
I also think he didn't want to go to this stupid planet to bring them back.
Yeah, because it was dangerous or something.
This planet was like, he said, it was more boring than Jakku or whatever. There's nothing there, and it's dangerous and it's stupid and it smells.
People pee on the floor.
Trash.
It's nasty.
Yeah, and so he's like, I just don't want to go there. And so I think that was also part of it. He was looking out for himself, and he really didn't want to go to that planet that they introduced in that story.
It was good though. I mean, 2 of those stories were exceptionally good.
Yeah, and this was Claudia Gray, which Marco absolutely wants to marry.
Absolutely.
He would love to spend his life with Claudia for the rest of his life.
No, but I'd like to hire her. She could just tell me stories all the time. She is. Yeah, she's great. I mean, she does a great job writing stories for Star Wars.
Next week we get Ireland, which I know Marco's really excited for. But we also get
myself in the nuts repeatedly.
We also get Soul. We get Cavan. So we get some of the some really good.
I hope so. I mean, I hope Soul makes a comeback because he's been a little rough lately. So,
and you also get Alyssa Wong's in story from the Barnes and Noble one, which people who like Alyssa Wong say it's great. I haven't read any of these next 5 because I wanted to wait and not have them, in my memory before we review them next week. But
absolutely,
I'm looking forward to the next 5. We'll see which ones we spend more time on next week, but we'll do that.
I mean, at least they're giving us.
They're being like exclusive. How do you feel that they're being like an exclusive retailer story?
I think it's stupid. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, because Barnes and Noble is under ordering shit, and then there's like 3 copies. If you don't get there right when it opens, it's gone. So like, yeah, it's stupid.
They've done this though for all of these anthologies, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tales books had like the Galaxy's Edge exclusive story.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But if you're gonna have those exclusive stories, don't take a month and a half to restock them.
I mean that's dumb too. Yes, but I don't like the exclusive story idea at all. But whatever.
Barnes and Nobles has books. You walk in there right now to get the book.
Maybe in your Barnes and Nobles because nobody can read out there, but in the states where people.
Hey.
I got there at 9.
Detroit,
10 copies.
Had a freaking goddamn scholar.
Apparently we're better than New York because fucking people read books out here.
I got there at 9 on the day it came out.
Nothing to do with it.
I was the person there, Dom. I got there at 9. There was 10 copies. I got a copy. I went back to Barnes and Noble 2 days later because in the area they were all sold out.
Yeah,
10 copies. 10 copies is not very many.
Yeah, they read in Colorado too.
Come on, man.
10 copies is not very many though. So
Yeah,
like
but
you should, if you're gonna have an exclusive,
Republic fans out there.
need more than 10 copies.
There's a lot of High Republic
We do have a
fans.
Barnes and Nobles here, but I'm not.
Yeah,
going.
you gotta check the boards, dude. Like the Star Wars boards, it's all about High Republic. They scream about how great High Republic is.
Yep. So I'm glad High Republic's back. We're gonna be doing High Republic content pretty much from here on out as we get ready for phase 3 to start in next month. We're gonna look at this book.
Content.
We're gonna go back to JJ's and we're gonna review phase 1 because JJ did a great summation of phase 1. So we're gonna have everybody go back and see what was going on there, and then we're also gonna look forward to see everything that's coming out for phase 3 over the next few weeks. So
I can't wait for that Halloween special to come out. A spooky Jedi story.
that has nothing to do with the High Republic. But yeah, that is great, Dom. I mean, I'm looking forward to Cavan's stories too. I like Cavan's stupid stories. Unfortunately, it's gonna be one of those books that like cost $25, and Marco's gonna flip out because he has to drive all around
Kick
town
all in it, yeah.
and get this itty bitty book for $25.
Hey, Lucifer, no, that's not nice. Come on. Come on.
All right. Well, hey, I think that's all we got this week because, to be honest with you, a little bit under the weather. I had to go to a terrible funeral the other day. Yeah, that's it. So stay in the streets out there. Guys, hey, listen, I hear we're just bullying people around all the time. That's not acceptable over here at Renovision. Stop bullying people around, all right? You guys, I mean, we're not the mafia, all right?
Hey, wait, maybe the comic mafia might come to your town. Be careful. Be careful out there.
Fucking idiots. I mean, incel say incel stuff. All right, guys, have a good day. We'll see y'all later. Take it easy.